Do you guys think that if you're unhappy, that's a good reason to leave a marriage? See?
I don't think you're gonna be happy all the time. So I don't. It depends. How long have I been unhappy?
Right.
Because my kids are seeing that.
Right.
I think that matters too. Like
Most don't have nothing to do with
a lot of people.
It don't have anything to do with age. Getting married too late. People don't have the intestinal fortitude for marriage. You get up there and say these vows. It's duty and responsibility, time and pain. It's the kids. It's the rearing. It's lineage and legacy. That's a joke in itself.
But is that not part of the kids? So your kids are a direct reflection of you. So if my kids are seeing me unhappy, now what?
What are you talking about?
Because you said happiness in the marriage because you just said that kids are part of it, right?
Let me explain it to you. You're conflating your happiness with how the kids are treated, right? I'm not even talking about the kids. I'm talking about you being happy, right? I just said that about sex, so don't act like you can't do it about everything else. So now that we have a baseline with that, you can fake it till you make it in front of them kids all the time. Now, kids have discernment. I understand that, but happiness doesn't mean everything has to be egregious in the household. However, we know ebb and flow. Is that a thing, or are we dismissing postpartum?
Postpartum depression is.
Do we have menopause?
Right,
and so you guys go through these ebb and flow periods where your happiness is intrinsically not working.
But that's why I agree.
But I'm just saying. But you put it on the kids. Like, no, answer my question directly based on happiness itself.
I did, but I said it depends on how long I've been unhappy. Raising my kids in a house where there's no happiness is not
selfish.
That's not life goals.
No,
just for the sake to say I have a husband. Are you serious?
No, you made a commitment under the Most High God, right? Unless you don't believe.
Who cares about the commitment if I'm unhappy and I'm dying inside?
Don't interrupt them, Melly. Sorry, Nikki, what you say?
I'm not staying unhappy for 10 months. You talking about 10 years?
Well, I've stayed unhappy for a very, very long time. But who is going to continuously stay in an unhealthy marriage where you're burning inside, you're dying inside, you done forgot who you are, you done forgot your self-worth, and you're just super unhappy, like depressed to that point, just to say I have a husband and I have a family? But
I think that we know how hoes are created. Callie said it earlier. Something about they ain't had their daddy, their daddy didn't love them. That's one. Secondly, most of these hoes been hurt by a man. Just like these niggas that been hurt by women, they become hoes. It's the same thing.
Savage.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Even with what Callie is saying, the lack of love, hopelessness, a deficit, desperation. That's all the same umbrella. I'm desperate for the love of a real man because a man never loved me. So I'm out there searching for the love of a man. But because I don't know how to properly find love from a man because I never experienced it. So now from these worst experiences that I've had and the damage that I've had from men, I'm telling you now I'm only going to use them for what I like them for because there's no possibility that they could ever even try to love me correctly. And I'm so lost on love, so in the deficit, I'll be desperate. And a lot of women have seen this. The girl come up here, hands. Remember the girl that came up here who was cosplaying a man? She was a whole butch, calling the women male-centered up here. You're trying to become them niggas. Talk about worship when you think you're fucking up a storm because you're a man and you're acting like a man. That's male worship down to the ground.
So the women who are promiscuous, are we saying they're all desperate?
Majority. I'm not saying that, but I know.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like in my point in my life, I feel like I was being groomed to cater to him.
So at 18, when did you guys break up or stop dealing with each other?
When I was 21, turning 22. So
you were for about 3 to 4 years. How did you upgrade him?
Oh shit. I think that I gave him a different perspective.
Well, you also feel like after you dated him, I upgraded you, and then all these women want you after what I did for you.
He was 18, bro. Like you grilling him, bro. What the fuck?
No, it's hard to imagine an 18-year-old girl upgrading a 28-year-old man, but then you left curious, what could you have possibly really done to a man that age? Like, you don't have no money, you 18, you don't have much knowledge, you 18.
But what we're witnessing is cognitive dissonance. So there's no way you admonish the man by saying that you upgraded him and then in another breath say he groomed you. Mm-hmm. Those two things are diametrically opposed. Right? And then you said age don't matter. People could be wise beyond their years. However, when Tamia gave you the bail money about you being 18, you're like, yeah, I was just 18. Nah, because remember you just said that you had the wisdom and understanding of somebody older than that, which is what you would be able to bestow on him. Right? Ooh. So these things are conflicting when we saying them. Did you actually upgrade him or was you mad and talking shit to him because he cheated on? Are most of us cowards? Are most of us willing to kill and die for our wife and children? Are we willing to defend ourselves? Do we know what it looks like when shit is hitting the fan? Do we know when danger is actually upon us? How many dangerous situations have we been in to tell? Do we know who we are in these ways? I'm gonna just tell y'all this. If you are in a real life situation and a person approaches you after an aggressive conversation, get yourself in a position in which you can defend yourself properly. So don't stay in a position that doesn't give you any advantage but put you at a disadvantage. Don't ever do that. see people picking and choosing, you know? So if I'm going to approach you in an aggressive manner, then I should stay that way. Or else you look bad. That shit look corny. That shit don't look good for men. Because it's like, damn, is there a low-level threat of violence between men for real? But that's the word. We pump faking, we half stepping. That shit take away from our strength, our bravado, when we don't know how this shit's supposed to go. So this is a thing that I just been trying to process, man. Don't sleep on nobody and be ready. Be ready as you can. The man says he got cheated on, and you tell him he's the reason why he got cheated on because she didn't feel like she was getting enough emotional support from him, and you justify him getting cheated on.
And like I said, that's unfortunate. But the person that he
got cheated on, you would have been like, "Girl, that nigga ain't shit."
No, first of all, you don't know me, so you don't know what I would have said. I would have asked, well, what happened? What did you do? What did he do? I would try to get the full story. But to just go on this I hate women train, I'm not about to do that. Like I said, give us the full details. But to just act like everything was just shine the rainbow, sorry, Uno, but it's more to it.
Right.
So I just want you to realize real quick, she was emotionally deprived, and you think
and then she entered a relationship with him.
But no, you can't add a speculation on what we do know based on what he shared, and somehow you're saying he emotionally deprived her. You think that correlates?
Because before she probably sexually had that experience with that man, she probably emotionally attached herself to him.
Why would you think that?
Because as y'all like to just say that women just go and just be loose and just have sex.
You do. Remember we had the conversation.
But the majority of women, they are going to emotionally, the majority of women going to emotionally attach themselves to a man.
How?
And then have the intercourse.
How do you know that?
Because I know. The same way y'all know. The same way that y'all know everything that y'all done talked about.
No, what I'm saying is, how do you know that, and how can you justify that based on women's behavior?
Because it's statistics. Somebody do the research.
If she has a dream about me cheating, am I at fault now?
You did that shit.
You did that shit, nigga. You did that shit in your past life, man.
Damn, boy. So he got hit with a honey bun and it's his fault. Okay.
That's like a boomerang.
I mean, I don't know his situation. How much would you say yes or no?
Well, she let another man put his penis in her vagina. He didn't ask her to do it. She just went and did it because or whatever.
So, I mean, I don't know how necessarily it's his fault unless he, maybe he's seen the signs and just chose to ignore them. But other than that, like, I'm pretty sure you left after you found out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he did the right thing.
Stepping away from it. So, is that an assurance for a partner? Is that an option as well? Like,
fellas,
like open book?
I got you. Real quick. Hey, fellas, if you dealing with a woman and she call you a partner, get up out of there. Okay. Yeah, let me see. Let me log in that joint whenever I feel like it. Yeah, I think that will work for sure. Yo, that accountability helps people too. If you know somebody else is looking at this shit, like how you reply, what you reply to, the bullshit, right? So like, for instance, this might be risky. Callie and I can see it, and my wife can see it. Now, I don't even really look at it that much because I know that they be looking at it. But also, bullshit get flushed. You know what I'm saying? It like take a weight off you, Right? Because temptation killed the cat. Pun intended.
I don't even have a lock on my phone. You can pick up my phone at any moment and go in there looking and see text messages and all of that shit.
Don't get a password. We say delete it. It's gonna be deleted. You mentioned that one of the problems was that you have so much access on social media. Like some people can message you, DM, your DMs popping. Him looking at it, is that going to satisfy him that it's confirmed now, or is he just trying to confirm whether or not you're responding back and cheating?
The con to that is that he gonna read all that shit the wrong way for sure.
Every time.
As he should. It ain't never all good.
I was just going to say something to the effect of, in terms of social media, although primarily I do it for content creation, if my man had an issue with it, I was at it, no questions asked, because I've actually been there and done that.
It calls for strokes. Like somebody will punch you in your shit for talking too much and talking crazy.
It say that in the Bible? No, it doesn't say that in the Bible. That also equates to...
I knew it. A fool lips enter into contention and his mouth calleth for strokes. Proverbs 18:6.
Okay.
Because I read this shit. I'm just saying
I did too, 5,000 times.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is, well, you didn't know that was in there, right?
Put him in the fucking bedroom. Get him out.
So...
It's a podcast. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ HAMP about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels, and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dance and jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Yeah, it's a broadcast. It's a broadcast. It's a broadcast, yeah. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, tell a friend. DJ HAMP about to go live again. So hit the likes, my friend, on your way in. First off, salute the chat. And to all new cousins, welcome back. Heard you searching for the real, well, this is where it's at. The latest topics and panels, and brother, don't get sent to the bathroom. We got all the stats, too, back to facts in the morning or the afternoon. Tuesday, women's POV, 2 Fridays, dance and jamming tune. It's a community of real, and we better than the world news. This might be risky, I hope you know. This might be risky, let's go, let's go. This might be risky, no, I love you, real, I love it. This might be risky. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show. Salute to DJ HAMP, it's time to start the show.
Run! It's a stampede! DJ HAMP, the stampede. DJ HAMP, the stampede.
Yo, check. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, man. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most. Big Aaron, Mr. Fantastic, we in the building. What's poppin'? How y'all feeling?
Nothing to it, man. Another Monday.
Everything's everything?
Everything is copacetic, cuzzo.
That's what's up, man. Mr. Fantastic, I gotta put a PSA out. I gotta start doing it more on Saturdays, Sundays, and Mondays, you heard? For all my single brothers and all that, especially around my age and shit. A home cooked meal to y'all niggas is like banquet chicken. You got drawers and socks and they dirty and you gotta wash them yourself. When they get cold in the middle of the night, you gotta turn the heat on as opposed to just pulling her close. So I just wanted to let y'all know that I also do DJ HAMP build sessions. So y'all book a session, we could talk about it, feel me? Because I know that the weekends ain't all they cracked up to be like when we was younger, you heard? The clubs ain't really popping. Instagram, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? You get a few numbers, but she really want to give you her Snapchat so your shit disappear. So I just want to say I'm here for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Who the fuck is y'all?
Keep me something laid up there, young fella. Keep me some shit. Scooched back, goddamn. What you talking about?
You feel me, Aaron?
That was brutal but true.
Yeah, man. So I'm here, man, cause I realized, they said suicide rates was up. I said I need to do more. You feel me? You know what I mean? Like imagine having to wear a condom, Aaron.
I reach out to the less fortunate, man.
Oh man, Mr. Fantastic, what's good, man? What you get into this weekend, man?
Hey, man, same old same, man. Living a dream. Every day is a holiday over here, man. So hey, I can't complain.
That's what's up, bro. Hey, I woke up on Saturday, Mr. Fantastic. I said, yo, I don't got nothing to do today. Nothing. Yo, I was happy as shit. She's like, babe, can you take them to swimming? I see niggas always trying to ruin my shit. But you know what? I'm gonna take them with a smile. You not gonna ruin this day for me, cause we ain't have no jobs on Saturday. You know that be like the most headache I got, making sure the guys show up. They got the trucks, this, that, and that. You know what I mean? Just stuff. You know. I'm like, I don't got shit to do, bro. She like, let's go to the beach. I'm like, fuck you, nigga. Beach my ass, nigga. Fake ass beach. So, yeah, man, I had a pretty good weekend. What you do this weekend, Aaron? Drive fast?
No, actually, I replaced the suspension components, shock struts, control arms, sway bars.
And that's
but last
fun.
night I had yeah, it's fun. But last night I had an awesome hand-breaded chicken parmesan with hand-stuffed ravioli and strawberry margaritas, and I didn't make not one bite of that shit. Delicious.
All praises, man. All praises, you know. Can y'all hear that?
Yep.
Brother. Perfect.
Wow.
Indeed, man.
Yeah, they try to do the they had the Duval Day shit down here, so we call ourselves waiting till like the sun got a little later or whatever. It wasn't supposed to rain until like 8. We head out there at like around 6, and it was a pre-tornado out this motherfucker, man. Shit was crazy.
Word.
Yeah, thunder, lightning, hail. It started hailing. Shit was crazy. People got caught outside. It was wild.
How the niggas do that's under 150?
What? Oh, I don't know. They had a long walk back to that car, run back to the car, bro. Scattering like roaches. That's what it was.
They might have.
Like roaches.
If a nigga under 160 pounds, he might have blew back to the car. You see what I'm saying?
Might have.
Yo, man. Yo, I'm watching his fight videos. You know how I be covering them shits. And this one lady said, so the girl jumped in for her man, but I forgot to send it to myself, so I can't find it. And she like, see, she jumped in the fight with her boyfriend. And the girl holding the camera is like, see, this is what happened when your man's small. Said, God damn, yo.
Don't go outside. Don't go outside with your coat open. You're gonna look like one of them squirrels that can fly. Blowing through the sky.
It'll blow away, bro. Yo, I wanted to get this straight, man. Salute to the chat. We got 120 people in the building. We got to get to we got to get to this business real quick. But I just got to make sure I clarify one thing. D was popping. E-Dub in the building. Fish in the fit. Leah was good, twin. They can throw it in the building. I see you. Black America, top of the morning. Salute to the OGs in the building. Call me Queen T. Was popping. Nightbot behaving. Hopefully they updated the Nightbot. Soul was popping. Ali the Great. Yeah, I might shorten it a little bit. Brandon was popping. CJ in the building. Salute. Turn on the AC. Aaliyah, CJ, Arnold in the building. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all go like, share, and subscribe. Chris was popping, my brother. Infrared TV, we see you. Hope all is well. Mr. Williams was popping. I got Queen T. I got D Majesty. OG Vet Life in the building. Homeboy Blaze, what up? Ak, Shalawam, Miss Jilly. Make sure y'all say what's up to Miss Jilly in the chat. And Rand, Shalawam, what up? Truth in the building. I see you. Hope all is well. Hope everything's everything. I'm coming. Matter of fact, I'm going to Baltimore August 23rd, I think. O'Shea was popping. Deucey in the building. Alexis from Texas. Impress was popping. Quincy in the building. Leon in the building. Dollar Washer was popping. Almanai, salute. Hope all is well. Hope everything's everything. Yo Lee, Shalom was popping. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. Tiff, top of the top, was goody. Salute. Zagu was popping. Construct Icon in the building, man. Yo, let's get this out the way, man. Stop comparing niggas to Jay-Z. I want that to stop. I want this to be the last time people do that shit, okay? If you haven't seen the concert, paid attention, Jay-Z is in a league of his own, okay? Put a 1 in the chat if we can all agree to this so I don't have to belabor this point. Put a 1 in the chat so we could be done with this comparing niggas to Hove once and for all. Let's get that out the way. You got God tier and then you got the other niggas that you can wrestle with, but stop wrestling with Hove. Stop wrestling with Wayne. Stop wrestling with Nas, bro. Leave them niggas alone, man. Can we agree?
Your arm's too short to box with Nas.
Can we agree, Mr. Fantastic?
What? I don't disrespect those guys. Just
nah, but I need a
add another name in there. You gotta add another name in there, man. Come on, let's be real.
Who?
You know who?
Project Pat?
No, not Project Pat. Chill out.
Who?
That would be the Southern. I'm saying goats. You know what I mean? That light skinned boy from Canada, man. The light skinned boy from Canada, man. You can't deny it, man.
Yo, that's the thing, right? You got God tier. And then you got the next tier down. But it's not a fall off. It's just you had to be there. Like you had to be there for a certain amount of time. All the niggas I named been with us since the 90s. Wayne too. They been with us since the 90s, bro. Know what I'm saying?
Niggas is bringing up a lot. Hey, I don't know, man. Niggas made some good points about Wayne, bro. Wayne is a little inflated, bro. Wayne's resume is a little inflated, dog.
Yo, you know what it is though?
Best work with mixtapes and features.
But for our generation, bro, that's big shit. Like, yo, the Soul Tapes is a mixtape. Summertime Shootout, the mixtape. DJ Big Mike, all the like we lived. Like, you remember?
I know. I'm not refuting that. Banks, of course, Fab, all of that. I feel you, but bro, you can't. It's hard to be in that echelon and that combo, bro, if your real work is a couple of
think
singles.
So?
Yeah, man, I don't know, bro.
Yo,
I said this about Wayne a long time ago, and it's no never respect for Wayne. Wayne is cold, but you get on his own shit, bro. This nigga's most that's your most famous song, bro.
Hustler music. I mean, that song is crazy. But yo, this right here is just as big as the original song.
Young Maine for president. I'd probably paint the White House black if it was my
nigga, you drop that in a college party, any party, our era? Nigga, that shit. Yo. I don't know, man.
No ceilings definitely set the bar for a lot of, you know what I mean? You hear that fucking lighter flick, that was totally different. But like what Wayne, like what Carter 3, and that's pretty much it. Carter 3.
Carter 2.
They got fucking Carter 2, I'm sorry. What's the name got like what, at least 3 classics apiece. All time.
Who? All the other ones?
Nas and Jay.
Yeah. No, I'm saying I'm just trying to be fair, right? I wanted to add somebody into the fold. I just don't know who else it would be other than Wayne from the South. Yeah, street wars. Yo, that Piff kept niggas alive, bro. That Piff was.
You know what? That's crazy. That was sad when they shut it down. When they shut that Piff down, nigga, I shed a tear, man. I shed a single.
That's
tear,
what I'm
bro.
saying, bro. That's why we include that shit. You know what I'm saying? But yo, just leave Hove alone, bro. That every day a star is born, and he literally go through the timeline of rappers that came and left and came. Pause. Yo, Tiff, I'm glad you said that. Andre 3000 is not in the stratosphere with them. Hove and Nas are definitely in the stratosphere. I think Wayne is in the stratosphere, and then there's a tier below that. It has to be, bro.
Here we go with the nonsense, man. Again,
hold on, I'm saying
Jay himself has goated 3 Stacks. Let's stop disrespect, bro.
Stacks can rap, you heard? But I'm saying with Hove and Nas,
yes.
Come on, man, y'all gotta.
He's son Jay-Z like multiple times. What are you talking about?
You gotta. No, I'm gonna tell you who's next. I'm gonna tell you what that next tier is. I'll even give you 3 Stacks, even though I don't think he.
And Brad, let's not forget about Brad Jackson.
See, this is where y'all get too loose with this shit.
Scarface is not on that tier?
I'm just saying, cause I'm about to go off in a second. I'm trying to be humble about this shit. The next tier You got niggas like this. Andre, Scarface, Ice Cube, Snoop. You got them niggas. And then adjacent to them in a new age is like Drake, Kendrick, Cole. But they kind of on the same plane. But leave Hov the fuck alone. Can we agree to that? Is all I'm asking. T, what up?
Hey man, like shit. You know what I mean?
What?
Just saying Brad Jordan, my bad. Not Brad Jackson. Brad Jordan, not Brad Jackson.
Yeah, I knew you was talking
Brad
about. All right. Just leave Hov alone.
The only people doing that though is like the young motherfuckers that don't know. Like I said, regardless of what you're going to say about, you know, and that's because of the current shit. Yeah, man, like Hov is you can't unseat Hov, bro. But you know, I still say this though. I don't know why LL gets left out, bro. I don't know why LL never gets his due. I'm just curious. It just makes it weird to me.
Yeah, he probably should be in there in that Scarface tier. 'Cause LL did everything for a long time. It's like they don't take him serious. It's almost like they treat LL like Will Smith.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But LL did everything. LL can give you bars. He can give you party shit. He can give you lady shit. He was the first ladies dude. Battle shit. All that.
Yeah, I ain't even named like DM. I ain't even named the dead rappers. I you know, like.
Yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Pac,
Big, DMX.
X. Yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, you know, I think, and I'll even admit to this because we trying to be honest. Big L's a little bit overblown because he died. He is, Aaron, just a bit, man. I gotta be honest. If rap was a game, he'd be MVP, the most valuable poet on the MI. That shit was okay, but it wasn't like Ebonics is crazy. You know, but it's a little bit overblown.
Oh, gave birth to Jay-Z.
That Freeze Out, they both was fire. Yo, they don't know about Prodigy. They don't know that Prodigy was the best rapper alive in 2000, arguably.
Stop it, yeah, y'all New York niggas and state niggas, y'all tried it, but nah, fam, nah.
Yo, you remember when you was walking around in school like this? I break bread, ribs, $100 bills. You ain't know why you was saying it, bro.
It wasn't said.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
I promise you, it wasn't said below the Mason-Dixon line.
I break bread, ribs, $100 bill. Y'all just walking around saying this shit. Don't even know why.
Not in anything of a southern state, brother, where they had a Confederate flag in the 90s still. No, sir. not now one of them.
Yeah, man. You know. Meanwhile, you know, Trial Time was the biggest song that was fucking in the South. If you got a heart full of hatred, fuck you. Was y'all singing that one at least?
Nah, Locks wasn't. Locks hit in the. That was like what?
04?
Nah.
No, 01?
Yeah, nah, that was in the club. 02, 03, something like that.
Benjamin's was crazy. But yeah, man, I just want y'all to leave Hov alone from now on, man. You know, there's a lot of awesome rappers, but there's levels to this shit, man. Hov proved it, man. He beat his own record in Yankee Stadium. You know what I'm saying? So, get it, man.
Run! It's a stampede! DJ Ham the Stampede. DJ Ham the Stampede.
Yo, like, share, subscribe, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Nah, come on, nigga. Hold on. Like, share, subscribe, man. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most, man. Damn. So, that's fun. Salute the Hov, you know what I'm saying? Great. I mean, I just like to see, the brothers do well to get that level of plateau, that level of cachet. The fact that we can even argue like you shouldn't be argued about is accomplishment enough, So salute to the brothers, man. To the brothers who made it. That game ain't easy, bro. Especially nowadays, So, this part, though. Mr. Fantastic sent me and Aaron and I, a clip of what happened in East St. Louis. And I've seen a lot of shit. And it said 15 and 16-year-old. God bless the dead to Nolan Wells. But I don't know how Al and Ben ain't in East St. Louis right now. Nolan Wells' story. I got a few clips. We look at different people who create these things. So my salute to my Ock Freezy. He been doing a hell of a job covering it. Sis actually sent me a timestamp to somebody doing like a tell-all. I need to hit freeze. Let me hit him. Pause. But yo, we trying to, and I'm just thinking through this out loud. Like this like a soliloquy. Juxtaposing those two things, I don't think it's going to end well, bro. I don't think it's going to end well. Let me get the horns out the way. Mr. Fantastic, should we show them that case first? Because I don't think most people may be privy to that as they are to Nolan Wells.
Probably nobody even knows it other than us unless they live in St. Louis, bro. Definitely show them the case.
All right. Hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button, man. Let me see. All right, so let me share my screen. Oh, shit. Ugh. Cause I'm about tired of them niggas, man. Alright, this one should be good.
A targeted mass shooting. 5 family members shot and killed at different locations across East St. Louis. And tonight, 2 teens are in custody. Fox News' Cameron Mendoza speaking with Illinois State Police, city leaders, as well as neighbors who are trying to make sense of the violence.
This feels like something that would happen on the first 48, not nowhere near, right across from me.
Neighbors Kevion Johnson and Samuel McLean Jr. at Gompers Public Housing Unit were in shock.
It's a peaceful neighborhood, so when everybody get woke up and to hear that it's a female deceased, that's a lot because we're not used to it.
By the details of a quintuple homicide that happened on Sunday.
At least 7 members of the targeted family were shot at multiple locations in the East St. Louis area. And as of right now, 5 victims have been confirmed deceased.
Police tell us this happened this morning across 3 different places. 1 person died at a shooting at a home at 39th and Summit. 3 other victims were shot in a home at the Gompers Public Housing Complex. 3 people were shot at Jones Park, 1 who died. 2 others survived but have serious injuries. The victims are 49-year-old Sherry L. May, 21-year-old Quentin L. Thompson, 24-year-old Devin D. May, 25-year-old Shania W. Thompson, and 74-year-old Patricia A. May. Police arrested a 15 and 16-year-old after the shootings at Frank Holden State Park. Director for the Illinois Police, Brendan Kelly, says there's not a motive at this time as the investigation continues into how the events unfolded, but there are relations between the victims and the suspects.
It's terrible, it's evil, but it will not keep this city down. The progress we have made will not be lost as a result of this terrible, terrible acts of violence that have occurred in this community today.
We spoke with East St. Louis City Councilman Courtney Hoffman, who came to the press conference Sunday afternoon. And while police are classifying this as a mass shooting by technical circumstances.
This is not a mass shooting that you don't have to worry about going to the grocery store and someone shooting at you or anything like that. This is a one-off in a sense, so it's not something the whole community to be afraid of.
In East St. Louis, Cameron Mendoza, Fox 2 News.
What the fuck? What's to not be more afraid of than a fucking mafia whole fucking family hit?
What the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah, please. What's not to be afraid of? These niggas killing grandmas, kids, women, puppies.
Yo, he shot.
And crickets.
Shot, what up, baby?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Goody.
They shot up a park. They shot up
two different houses.
Two different houses. One in which was like the project housing, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if y'all, but we have a few that look like that too.
The bricks, yeah,
like
the bricks. This brick, the project's still bricks.
Yeah, they had the air conditioner in the window. What? Why would he say that? Who was the last nigga that said that?
I don't know him, but he is the post of the black community.
City Councilman Courtney something or other.
Shad.
Yo.
Rashad.
You can't hear me?
Yes, I'm just yelling.
Your mic real low. I don't know if you own your mic or you own someone
it's also me being dramatic. What the fuck? Why would he? Why would he say that?
Was it just a one-off?
Yeah, like one-off. What? 7 people got shot, 5 dead in 4 different places. That's like John Wick and them niggas.
I don't know why he would say that. That at that time it wouldn't make sense to say it. I don't know why he said it.
Yo, and the qualification of a mass shooting is what? 4 more people shot in a given incident? 3 or more?
3 or more.
So that's the classification. So they were saying by definition it's a mass shooting. Yeah. So let me ask y'all a question. How do we break that down? So we understand mass shooting as like the dude who was shooting off the roof in Las Vegas, right? Columbine, Buffalo, the church, right? Are those qualified as mass shootings? Yeah. As we know it colloquially? But definitionally, 3 or more people shot, and they actually have to get hit, right?
Yes, actually hit. You don't have to die, but mass shooting is just that. That don't have to occur. But shot by gunfire is 3 or more. It's about the FBI classification, I think.
Okay. Let me ask you guys a question. Now, this is, I think Mr. Fantastic called it Tinfoil Tuesday. Is that intentional? To classify it in a way in which it's easy to say this community has the most mass shootings? What was the reason why the classification changed? Again, this is a tinfoil question.
I don't know if it ever changed. When did it change?
Oh, maybe it didn't change. I just been hearing that more often, like, you know what I mean? Like in the last year or so, that mass shooting, the black community, we have the most mass shootings because of the definition.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what people started like actually saying once you really do the definition, because we only thought about, like you said, Columbine, you know, pretty much where you have a small group of people shooting the majority of people, and those that get pretty much coverage because of that. Columbine, Sandy Hook, the Vegas thing, you know, stuff like that, right? But, you know, technically by the definition, it's like all the gang shit that happens in these drive-by shootings or shootouts where more than 3 people are hit, those are mass shootings as well. They just don't get talked about because they don't make, you know, national news or whatever.
I understand why the inference is made. However, if I put my tinfoil hat on, right, because when you think about a mass shooting, you think about the context. A mass shooting involves a mass group of people, So I think mass. I don't necessarily think like 4 or 5. I think mass, right? You shoot up a movie theater. You know what I mean? You have a large concentrated group of people. So the number part to me, if I'm making an inference, just looking at all the context involved in this country, to lessen the spotlight on a certain demographic, I wouldn't completely throw that idea away just because I know where I'm at. But I don't have any evidence to suggest that's what the reasoning was. But if I was to make a tinfoil assumption, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The criteria is too vague to just pick a number. What it does is it allows you to arbitrarily assign the term mass shooting to whatever the event is. I think the piece that's missing is targeted. Targeted shooting or untargeted. It seems like this family was targeted because there's a deep relation between the victims, right? Whereas the people in a movie theater or getting hit from a rooftop or in a school, their relationship with one another doesn't go any further than proximity in the moment, right? Which would outline a completely different scenario. So I think that's the part that they're intentionally leaving out so that they can arbitrarily assign the term to wherever they want, as long as it meets the criteria of a certain amount of people being shot, which is something that often happens in the hood. But they're usually targeted.
Okay. And so when we look at this shooting being targeted, right, it was a family. What is the danger to the greater public in you guys' estimation?
I think that's what the councilman was leaning on. He was feigning a sense of control, and trying to reduce hysteria by virtue of the fact that it is a targeted shooting, and that as long as you're not associated with the victims, that you don't have anything to worry about. I think that's the premise he was trying to lay.
I know. Is that disingenuous?
No, but it is the thing. It is to expect the public to not be afraid. Yes, it is. So to say that, yeah. I mean, technically, no, but that is inconsequential when you're dealing with the public. It is unreasonable to expect the public to not be afraid.
No, I guess what I'm asking, Aaron, is that how bullets work?
That's not how bullets work.
That's what I'm saying.
That's how well-placed bullets work, but that's not how bullets work.
Yeah, no. And we know that these aren't well-placed shooters. These aren't trained shooters or snipers or so on and so. And more likely than not, more often than not, people that aren't even targeted end up in the crossfire. I'm pretty sure the 74-year-old grandma had nothing to do with it, Aaron. I don't think she was deep in the streets, brother.
I don't know. She was the family. I don't know. And people like this can be ruthless, especially when they want to make a statement.
That's what I'm saying, though, right? Like somebody, like a 74-year-old grandma was shot. Now, they did kill Griselda when she was, 71?
Yeah, but that was Griselda.
Yeah, but that's...
Grandma might have been...
It's like killing Mustache Man.
Chill out, bro. Chill out, man. No, bro. Motherfucking Queen Pen, St. Louis Queen Pen. Stop it, Hamp. Stop it, bro.
Go ahead, Shaw. What you about to say?
I was just thinking specifically about the one-off conversation, the one-off part of his statement. Because you used the word disingenuous.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about it in the moment, right? I don't know if he had a prepared speech or not.
Mm-hmm.
We're saying that for 5 people to be a part of a family, get killed isn't something that happens rare. That's not a rare occurrence.
No, yes, that's rare. The threat to the public when 5 people get shot and 7 people get shot in 4 different places, and he's saying that's nothing to be afraid of. I don't even know how you get that. 2 shooters shoot 7 people in 4 different locations. That means the police is on strike.
No way the police doing their job, like you said, because I think two of the things were in proximity were close. But then they say the other one was in a park. And then, like you said, for there to be those 2 different shooters who are children, by the way, and not to mention that 15 and 16-year-old that's doing this, bro. I think everybody should be alarmed because it shows a major issue and deficit in the culture and just that and the danger in that area, bro. Why we can't have that? Bro, I've never been to East St. Louis, and I've heard about East St. Louis. Why we act like they don't exist? Memphis. Hell, we want to run them down. Memphis, Baltimore, Philly. I think North Philly to be specific. Atlanta, Miami, Broward, motherfucking Jacksonville. Certain parts of Houston, depending on what side of town. Dallas. There's certain places that have Detroit. There are certain places that have a fucking reputation for violence. Why we act like that don't exist in the community? And why is it a problem if we acknowledge it? Why is it a problem?
It's not.
Now go ahead, Sean. Talk your shit.
Now I just know who I'm talking to, man. So it's like when
like
culture. I wanted to because I know y'all had some other stuff. I had a great soliloquy I was gonna go on today, but I want to allow us to kind of develop a little bit before I start doing my 1-2. But at this point I'm keen to certain words like culture. So I'm just paying attention a lot more keen than I have having conversations with certain people. So to throw culture out, for instance, even the city of Atlanta. To say the city of Atlanta has a culture of violence,
has its own culture, bro.
Right, but to then attribute, I don't know, is it attribute or contribute violence to an entire city of people? Is again it's another infraction, man. 10,000 lashes. All right, we're gonna count how many lashes there's gonna be needed.
Like I said, name a black city. I guess that most people wouldn't know about, like Tupelo, Mississippi, right? I heard of that. I think that's probably predominantly black, right? I've never heard a whole lot of violence. I never heard a whole lot of violence coming out of Tupelo, Mississippi. Never heard a whole lot of violence coming out of there. I can use Georgia, right? Georgia. Right outside of Macon, you got like Perry, right? Perry's not too far away from Macon. Perry's not known for a whole bunch of violence. Macon is. You know what I'm saying? Jones County, Twiggs County, or that would be what? Gray and Jeffersonville, that's not known for a whole lot of violence, but Macon is. Hell, McDonough. You know this shot. McDonough's not known for a lot of violence. Even if you go to Alpharetta. Is Alpharetta known for a lot of violence?
Yeah, so you know me, man, when you talking to me, right? Because I've worked in prevention work and I know how powerful words are. So you say things like whole lot of, it don't mean much to me. Like as a person who really get granular with information. So to say like Atlanta is known for a whole lot of violence, I don't think that'll be a factual. What does a whole lot of mean? What does that mean?
Well, in comparison to the neighboring cities and counties is what I'm saying. So that's why I gave you I gave you McDonough. I gave you Alpharetta. I can give you Marietta, right? So if you were to compare, especially like Metro Atlanta, in comparison to those other surrounding areas, they would have a increased spike in violence. You agree, correct? I even gave you my hometown, Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia compared to Jeffersonville, Gray, Perry, Warner Robins. The violence there is going to be heightened by a lot. So what I'm saying is when you make comparisons, which we always do, right? For the region, that place has be more known for violence. That's all I'm saying.
I got you. I mean, I just think the culture part, because like I said, I've been in Atlanta for 15 years now, and I've actually lived on all sides of the city. I don't know if I don't see the culture of violence that you're talking about, right? There are neighborhoods in Atlanta where violence happens, but to say that Atlanta has a culture of violence, I think that's a statement that's going too far. So even like East St. Louis, I don't know much about East St. Louis, right? I do understand there are areas of East St. Louis that are poverty stricken, and we know kind of what the formula is for crime in America. So just the citizens of East St. Louis, right? These pockets where there's a lot of crime, I think they will push back on the idea that the entire city produces a culture of violence.
Yeah, but I mean that would be people that are trying to, for whatever reason, deny the truth. I mean, like I said, go ahead.
Well, no. So, what's the truth in your estimation?
What about what I said about the violence aspect? There is a such thing as a culture for violence. There's a such thing as a place to where there's going to be more violence than other places.
Okay,
So and we know this just off the top of our head. Memphis, you say Memphis, mother, like, oh, whoa, brother, you know somebody over there? Now, of course, I think so. I'll give to Shad's point, to Shad's credence, right? Of course, it's not the entire city, because cities are big, just like here in Jacksonville, right? Certain side of town, you go pretty much be good no matter where you go. But other side of town, hey, what you doing over there? What you expect gonna happen? So I think it's kind of loose when you say it that way. But at the same time, I think we understand that within cities, you have even the worst of cities, there are good parts and bad parts.
So, Mr. Fantastic, when you speak on like Atlanta, would it behoove you to say neighborhoods?
As far as
violence,
yeah.
Like, do we need to know where, or is it how prominent does the violence need to be to call a city violent? Like Chicago, is Chicago violent, or is the South Side violent, or does it matter? Are we saying where black people live is violent? Is that the thing?
Well, when your whatever part of it has an average of more deaths and gun violence or violent crime against people that exceed the normal level nationally or statewide, I think that's fair to say. You're not going to be specific. You're just going to talk about the city, because I don't know who knows where the South Side of fucking Chicago is. You just know Chicago, right? And we known about Chicago. Chicago, that's another thing. The historical context. GDs and vice lords. That's the home of a fucking origin of a gang. Yeah? So can we have the honest conversation, can we not? And we know most gangs are affiliated with criminal activity and violence. What's wrong with saying that? That's what, everything I say, again, people, you know what I mean? That's why I get lost. It's just like, can we this is the problem of the crossroads we always come to. Oh, you talking shit about the city? You talking about this? Well, I mean, am I talking shit about the city, or am I telling the truth and giving the context that is known amongst black people as a whole? Bro, I've been to Chicago all for a layover, HAMP, to where the plane got stuck there over bad weather. So the most time I ever spent in Chicago might have been 12 hours. I went and got me a fucking deep dish pizza. Shit was all right. You know what I'm saying? And hopped on the plane next day and went home. But at the same time, HAMP, I've been to fucking New York twice. I walked down streets in Brooklyn. I walked down streets in Queens. I ain't feel no type of way. I'm from Macon, Georgia. I ain't the hardest nigga in the world. You know what I'm saying? So this is my thing as to where I know what I see when I see it. You know what I'm saying? We was just in Houston, HAMP. There was parts where I drove down where it was nothing but motherfucking old box Chevys and whatever the fuck, without the rims and the paint. Yeah. I didn't feel no type of way. I don't feel threatened. I'm not afraid, but because again, I come from that. I'm used to that. The motherfucking the J's hanging outside the Dollar General asking for $1. We used to that shit, bro. So why can't I talk about it if that's the reality of it? Why is it me talking down, or why is it me, trying to do something nefarious when I'm just telling the truth? That's what I don't understand.
You keep using that word, the truth. So does Atlanta have a culture of civil rights, progression, high academic achievement, too?
But they did. What's the last civil rights thing that's been done since the 80s in Atlanta?
So you think you think all those people who created those things, it just perished, and there's no more of those sentiments still in the city?
Very few and far between, Shad. But again, I don't
so
live.
This is what I mean by this is why I say it gets like and I remember a long time ago I called you an agent of chaos, and I felt like that was too strong. But now I'm kind of like, maybe it wasn't too strong, because again, you're not even in the city. Like, you don't what's the longest amount of time you spend in Atlanta in the last 5 years? What's the longest amount of time?
What, 4 days?
So that's the point I'm making. I'm here. The sentiments are still here. What's his name? Andre Young is still active in the city. Am I saying the right person? Tiki?
I'm not refuting that. So
let me finish this. So what I'm saying, when you say things like Atlanta has a culture of violence, you leave it at that. Yes, that's a component of the city, But that's why I say it's dangerous, because they also have still civil rights sentiments. Morehouse and Spelman are still two of the best colleges, and you see I didn't say black for a reason. Best colleges in the country. I graduated from Morehouse School of Medicine, the leading black public health graduate program in the country. These things still exist in Atlanta, Ms. Fantastic. That's why it's important for me, at least, to refute what you're saying on TV, that Atlanta has a culture of violence. It's not about the truth. The truth. I don't know how you got to that's the truth. I don't know how you get to that point.
Okay, so hold on. I'm trying to look at it right now. I'm see if it gives me. I'm looking at the thing for.
And so, while he's looking that up, the interesting thing about the show is one thing that we were looking at is what is propagandized, what's pushed, by the media, the culture, in terms of what they feed us, what they don't, what we buy into. That's why I put Benjamin Crump on the flyer, right? Because I'm just looking at whatever he connects himself to seems to lead, right? And I'm asking, is he ignoring or focusing on the wrong shit?
Yes, clearly. He's only focusing on shit that has anything to do with white people. And again, this is what keeps the whole racial thing going. If it's again, this is a multi-generational family being wiped out. How is this not a big major issue for us to motherfucking deal with and be like, hey, what's going on here? Not asking for him to fix it, but at least to get some type of grassroots organization going in that community. Hands down, guns down, gloves up, or something. Something. But everybody only care, again, this proves my point every time. Anytime it's a white man or the police or anybody involved outside of niggas care. We arguing right now because we just said, the grandma, 74-year-old granny, and then 5 people in the same family, two more than him, they said were females. So these, whatever the hell they got going on, this is a targeted hit by non-organized motherfuckers. A 15 and 16-year-old nigga. We got a black mafia now.
That shit. So let me think through Shad. Sorry, go ahead, Shad.
No, I'll wait because
No, go ahead.
You can start now. So
talk your shit. Hold on, let me do this first.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, so when I saw the title, so I said I wanted to make sure I prepare, right? So shout out to one of the greatest minds to ever walk this earth, W.E. Du Bois, right? In his 1903 book, and give me the hands. I'm gonna try to be succinct. Give me the hands. I'm too slow.
Okay.
In the souls of black folks, he talked about this concept of double consciousness. So double consciousness is being able to see yourself as an African at that time, but also see yourself as an American. And one of his biggest concern was, and if you don't mind, I'm gonna read a passage from it real quick, quick.
Sir. Go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a peculiar sensation, the double consciousness, the sense of always looking at oneself through the eyes of others, or measuring one's soul by the tape of a world that looks on in amused contempt and pity. One ever feels his two-ness, an American, a Negro, two souls, two thoughts, two unreconciled strivings, two warring ideals in one dark body, whose dogged strength alone keeps us from being torn asunder. The reason why I introduced this double consciousness that W. Du Bois promoted, but also was fearful about, because he said what he hopes is that as black people we can maintain this war, these two ideals. But what he was afraid of is that we'll merge them into this better identity. Here's how we get to what we're talking about now, right? Where the Ben Crump, because we're gonna get on Ben Crump in a second, right? We're talking about this lack of awareness, right? That now, as black people, if I'm not aware of every crime that happens in America, it's not that I don't care. Here's the scary part about what actually is being said by Miss Fantastic and others who think like him. It's not only that I'm not aware, it speaks to my moral deficiency. So as a black person, if I'm not aware of if I don't scream and yell about everything that happens in America, it's not that I'm not aware. It shows my contradiction. It shows my lack of moral character that I'm not aware of it. To talk about Ben Crump real quick, Ben Crump is successful at what he does. He's a lawyer. He's successfully getting in front of cases, particularly cases that involve race, and winning huge civil suits for his clients. Look it up. He is actually very successful. He does. This happens in America all the time, whether you like it or not, because I had similar sentiments. I was like, why is he always the one showing up? Then I started doing my due diligence because he gets things done. He wins. He's a lawyer. That's why he gets in front of all these cases. It might bother us to see it, but in his craft, he's not the only one. Think about people like Gloria Allred. When they deal with the sexual cases in women, she's always in the front of it. Why? Because she's successful at what she does. So for me, it's not as much of a concern. Again, because when I talk about when he steps in front and what W. Du Bois talks about, oh, now we concerned how people are going to look at us because every time something happens, it's being Crump at the front. We're concerned how America's going to look at us because we don't have a catalog of heinous crimes that happen in America, and if we don't call out every one of them, that means black people don't care. That's a horrible place to put black people in, and I'm gonna lay in there.
Yeah, and my counter to that would be is no, that's not the case, because if you can every single time there's an interracial issue, it's get covered, it gets national media things, and that's who Ben Crump runs to, and he only covers those cases where non-black people are involved. Why are he not doing those cases when it's also only black people involved? So that's the easiest counterpoint ever. Why are only your civil rights cases or your only cases that you take and you're known for is when it's something involved with non-black people? Again, as Hamp said, RIP to the young man that lost his life in Mississippi. That's one man, bro. That's one black person. But because there's white folks involved, niggas is investigating and figuring shit out and everybody fucking CSI and detectives and everything. We just told y'all, bro, 5 different family members, 7 shot, 5 killed at 3 different locations. This is the case of cases where everybody need to be like, well, I know they caught the boys. How?
Don't make that small. Don't make that small. I knew you was gonna do that. Don't make that small. That's a very important part of the conversation.
Well, Shad, what do we mean make it small? How difficult is it to not catch a nigga that just killed 5 people?
Right, but that would be the point as to why Nolan Wells is being highlighted.
Good morning,
all of these,
Cheeky.
Good morning. Good. My apologies.
He excited him. He can't help me excited. Man.
It's not that. It's just like
get us
he's
going.
Highlighting it within he's doing it within his own speech. The part is, I'm saying you did it within your own speech, which is why it's crazy, is because those boys got caught.
Okay.
Those boys, that means the justice system worked as is. The issue that people have, or the reason why Ben Crump exists, is because when they don't look like us, it seems like it's a harder time finding some level of equal justice, right? So, for example, Nolan Wells' situation is very highlighted because these boys have connections to the judicial system. One of their parents is a judge. Now, you tell me what hood nigga or what hood criminal, or whatever you want to call these black people who are criminals, what connections do they have to power? And what do they use to utilize that they don't just get caught?
Yeah, no, that's inconsequential, Cheeky.
That's not inconsequential. That's very consequential.
No. Because that for this case. So now give me all the other Ben Crump cases to where a judge was involved, to where the parents was a judge. Give it to me.
Okay, the parents have to be a judge, but what about a connection to
exactly. So hold on, like you just said, don't make it small. So this right here is something that's extremely unique. For one, we know judges in themselves.
What about that kid? What about there's another? See, all of those this is why doing that video matters. The Noah Wells case, what's that white girl that punched the kid and he got jumped by those white kids? I can't remember. You know what I'm talking about. It's Lenore County. The Lenore County case where the white girl invites her ex-boyfriend, punches him. All three, 4 of them boys jump him, put him in chokehold, take him out, put him in chokehold. Guess what her connection is? What? Related to law enforcement. There's another case. That situation with the black woman that died with being the only black female amongst the white group, and that happened in Georgia. Connection. Her boyfriend was part of the police department. All of these people in cases where it seems like you have to fight for justice. What happened with the kid Cyrus? Didn't steal a damn thing. What happened to that Asian kid or Asian guy? What happened?
5 black people found him not guilty. 5 black people found him not guilty.
But the point is, the majority of the people that was in there, they didn't find. We have to do additional work.
Well, no. What do you mean additional on anything? No. Let's go back to that. So refute what I'm saying. A jury that consisted of 12 people, and if you did the research, you know that city or that county or whatever it was majority black. It had 5 black jurors on there, and 5 black jurors said that he was not guilty. So, what are we saying about the justice system in that case?
Okay, now
they're all coons.
In that case, I would still say there's a problem. But the only reason why I got national attention is because somebody had to bring it up.
Why is it a problem, though?
What do you mean, why is it a problem?
So you're saying that the 5 black people that found the Asian man not guilty for shooting the boy are problematic?
Yeah, I would say that's problematic, but my point is this. The reason why these things have to be brought or even amplified by somebody like a Ben Crump is because you're trying to limit or you're trying to reduce situations like that where the person is more likely to get off scot-free if there is no attention to it. Or what about Ahmaud Arbery? Like the situation with that. There are reasons why.
Yeah, but like you said though, hold on, and that would be a counter to your point because those dudes were found guilty and given life.
But why? The only reason they were found guilty, or the only reason why it got brought back up, was due to the national attention that it got.
No,
they were going to sweep that under the rug. That was already had been a case. That case had happened almost a year until they had to bring it back up because it got notified publicly.
No, it didn't take a year. She actually followed that whole case. It didn't take that long.
Okay, so how did it get brought back up? Because it
got brought back up because they within I want to say a few months they end up interviewing the guy, and the guy came forward with either the cell phone footage or whatever the dude that actually cooperated with him.
And that was
the third
after
dude
the fact.
that helped follow him.
How many months up until it was a certain amount of months, close to a year, until that got brought back up again? And had it not been brought back up,
I can't argue that with you. Because I don't remember, I'll have to go back and try and research it myself and covering it. But I'll just give you that for now. But it definitely wasn't that long, bro.
If there is no notoriety or any national attention brought to it, it will be swept under the rug. It will be moved on. But you know what won't be? July 4th, 20 people shot at somewhere in Chicago. You know what's always going to bring attention? They're going to always bring attention to that. We already know if it has anything to do with black violence or black. The media in the United States is going to bring attention to that. But you know what they're not going to bring attention to? Things is like, wait a minute. Hey, what about this case? They're always looking for an imperfect victim to go, well, why would he do this? Noah Wells was a very similar to, quote unquote, similar to an Austin Metcalf football player. Getting ready to go to a college. Good grades, known as a good student, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, I'm not refuting any of those things. My thing is,
that's why Ben Crump matters, because if there is no attention brought to these cases where these people are in a smaller town, whatever the case, and there is no amplification, then there's gonna be swept under the rug and moved on.
So what about what was the one case with the girl?
Let me read these real quick. It's fantastic. Brianna. Sean Brewer with the follow says, Ben gets no justice. He only gets money! ! Ask Sean how many justice cases he won. It's only for money because he know the government will pay. Civil.
Yeah, I said that. What is that saying? Do y'all know how? Do y'all really know how law works? Most of these people, that's what the thing. That's what you can't get justice money. That's what happens across the board. Now we're gonna take Ben Crump and not allow him to do what most lawyers around America do. This is goofy, man. It's just goofy.
Zach Good with the $5 says, the black teen going to jail. We get mad about the other races is because they seem to get off. White teens ain't been questioned thoroughly. AL with the $2 says, Crump covers civil suits, not the criminal side.
All right.
That seems to be understood, right?
Yeah.
So let's just Mr. Fantastic, do you remember what you were gonna talk about in terms? You said a girl did what?
Yeah, the girl that died in the freezer, amongst all her black friends.
What's her name?
I think it was Jenkins. Something Jenkins.
Yeah, I think so.
Where was Ben Crump on that? Where was any black civil rights on that? See, when we have these black mysteries,
the mom got paid.
Of course, the mom got paid, but all of the people were black.
Yeah, but
she ended up suing. I think. No, it didn't. It never got solved. It never got solved.
I don't think.
Okay, so she got a suit. She got a suit from. She sued the hotel or whatever the girl ended up dying at.
So it got rectified.
Same thing with the case. Same thing with the case of where the girl went out of town to Mexico, and the friends beat the shit out of her and killed her, and nobody went to jail for that. Niggas talked about it for like a week. No,
yeah,
brother, they were American citizens on vacation in Mexico. What do you mean?
Okay, but my point is this: if it's in another jurisdiction, wouldn't that make it harder to solve a case like that? Did they not solve that?
No, nobody went to jail.
Because of what? What was the reason?
Brother, I have no idea.
Okay, so those things matter. What about the black girl that died to the white guy in Tanzania? They said it's a sword. See, my point is this: I'm not taking my eyes. I'm not taking my eyes all the way off to some place and out of the United States. I'm looking at within. Of course, I expect the case to be more complicated if it happens outside of your United States jurisdiction because there's no telling what happened. I don't know how that works, but I do know every single time that there's something bad happening in the United States and it involves black people, it will be shown and it will be highlighted and we will know about it. That's guaranteed.
No, this ain't. Hold on. This not national news. I just happened to come across this.
What's on national news?
The story recovering.
Yeah,
the Nolan Wells story?
No. The 5 people getting killed, Cheeky.
Yeah, it's a like I said, I called it out. It's
what Miss Fantastic doing. Wait, y'all, before you go. Wait, y'all keep trying to jump over that. So something
I'm trying to address it. I'm addressing it directly, but I'll let you go. Then I'll go after you.
Something that's of equal like importance and outrageousness of so on and so forth. This isn't being covered nationally. Why? Because it's just niggas.
Right, but just because that may not be covered nationally, we acting like the majority. They can't cover all things black that's bad.
So why do you always? And this is my point. This is my point. They feed you. The media feeds you anything interracial.
Yes.
No, media feeds you.
But Cheeky, yes. Because that's the news is in the business to make money. Yes. So they know the type of cases that will generate money. Yes, Miss Fantastic. You're exactly right. That's what the media does. The media is very perverse. Now let's talk about what you really want to talk about. Like I said, this what you doing. Well, y'all don't talk about this case. It's an old tactic, brother. That's why I introduced W.E.B. Du Bois. Because what you're trying to do now is create this racialized moral accountability where if black people don't have a catalog of all the crimes that are heinous, if we don't talk about all of them, that somehow speaks to our moral ineptness. That's what I'm saying. Ineptness. Well, that's what I'm saying.
So I guess my question is, Sean, the Ben Crumps of the world, right? They're there to get money. These are civil suits. Is it just simply that there is no money in black on black violence?
Yeah, it's not like it's not interesting to people. It's not even interesting to black people, right? Because here's the part about it, right? And when I say about black people, I'm saying, so for instance, Miss Fantastic could have done some research to see are there any violence prevention programs on the ground in East St. Louis addressing these issues. No, they don't want to do that. They want to do what everybody else does. Point out to how this case hasn't been high profile, then that means black people don't care. But they don't do their due diligence to see what are the people in that community doing on the ground to deal with this problem. What are the people in Atlanta on the ground dealing with the issues that are going on? They never have that information. Because what you'll find is around America, there are small organizations that are trying to help fix their communities, but they don't get national attention. But it's up to black people in Florida to be aware of what's happening in East St. Louis, and if they're not, then Big Crump shouldn't be able to come in front of the media and talk about a high profile case.
Well, I'm not even talking about people in Florida. I'm talking about at least people in Missouri.
But you don't know what's going on, Miss Fat. You don't know what's going on, Miss Fat.
They don't, bro. I don't listen. Listen, what I'm talking about, right? Listen, I'm telling you this, right? So we know. I'm in Florida. Jacksonville down here. Some asshole just shot his baby mama and killed his kid like a week ago. You heard about that case?
No, I haven't.
Of course not, right? Let me see. I'm trying to think.
But you have, because you in Jacksonville, so that makes sense. It makes sense that I wouldn't know about it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But it is a whenever the white dudes kill their whole family or some shit or injure their family, that make national news, right? That's something that white people.
That's not true.
I definitely heard a whole lot more of them than whatever. When the white man goes crazy and he motherfucking kill his whole fucking family and himself.
Did you hear about the white man that cut his penis off and lit it on fire and threw it in the garage?
Yeah, I actually did. I saw that.
That didn't make national news.
That's weird. News. That's weird news though, Shad. I mean, that's not anything. Whatever. That's some weirdo shit. That's not. So if we're talking about the loss of life and we're talking about violence against other people, so what I'm saying is this, and you actually said the main point, Shad. You just gave me the whole argument. Okay. Niggas don't care. Black people don't find interest in other black people dying at the hand of black people. We don't care. Like you said, we don't care. Now, once the white person get involved, now everybody care. Everybody feel away. Fucking hey, y'all know who Lou Nail is? Who's Lou Nail? Everybody put a one in the chat if you know who Lou Nail is. Lou Nail just crashed out on a motherfucking interview, and this old bitch talking about, I was so mad over the Miles case. She used that case as an excuse for her fucking deplorable behavior, bro. This is how far niggas go. This is what I'm saying. This is my point. This is my point, bro. This is what I'm saying. We don't care. A part of it, I understand awareness. There's no way, Shad, I can know what's going on in Atlanta right now. I don't live in Atlanta. I don't watch the Atlanta local news. So if Atlanta news don't make it, or I don't got somebody that's boots on the ground in the streets of Atlanta, and pick state here, city, whatever, Memphis, Detroit, all these other violent places, so on and so forth, whatever. Right? I don't know. You're correct, right? But what I'm saying is niggas don't care, bro. We don't. You said it. Like, we didn't even got to argue it. You said it. These words came out of your mouth, bro.
Nah, you misconstruing my sentiment, but go ahead.
I'm misconstruing what? That's what you said.
I'll clarify.
So please construe it for us, brother. Please construe it.
Yeah, because like I said again, right, like this racialized moral accountability, because we want black people to be superhuman and be better than everybody else that exists in the world. Yeah, violence for the most part is localized. So again, that's why I said I'm challenging you to go see what's happening on the ground. Are there any institutions? Are there any people who are doing things to prevent violence in that community? Because to now put that burden on every black person in America to be aware of all the crime in America is bullshit. But it's not a new tactic. It's been going on. That's why I said this double consciousness. We got to be aware of to be black, but we also, because your only concern is, I don't want people to look at us in a bad light. That's just how I feel about it, man. If it's that y'all will say it's because y'all care. No. That ain't why. It's because y'all want people to look at us a certain way. Because you said it before. This is why people say this about us. I've heard. Yeah, you said this. So yeah, I can't get that out. I can't get that out of my mind. That when you analyze black people, there's a part of your brain concerned about what other people think about you. And when I mean by other people, I mean other groups of people, not black people. You concerned about how other people think about it. That's a problem.
No. Well, yeah, that's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's a huge understanding of social dynamics and the importance of, especially if you see yourself as a marginalized group, and how you have to have a certain, outside perception that's going to favor you versus hinder you.
I agree.
Very important.
I agree.
Right. So if you agree with me saying that,
yeah, but see, that's the part. I just talked about it. I just talked about double consciousness.
That's secondary.
I just talked about that.
Well, that's secondary though, right? That's secondary. Well, I'm speaking for myself, so you didn't mention. So I'm gonna speak up for me, right? So, but that's secondary, Shad. What I actually do care about is I care about innocent people getting caught up in criminal shit. Now, she could have been motherfucking the Black Griselda Blanco, but I highly doubt it. I don't like grandmas getting shot. I don't like babies getting shot. I don't like innocent people getting caught up in street shit. Mm-hmm. That's my problem. The streets are the streets. The streets are always going to exist. The criminal aspects will always exist. Some reason for us though, Shad, though, this shit end up to where people ain't got nothing to do with the street shit. Hamp, how many people got killed in the Philly shit we covered?
I think 4 people.
3 or 4.
Like
3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
Let's say 3. Let's knock it down to 3. Shad, people just chilling, having a good time, whatever, kicking it, doing shit that young people do. A shootout happened, And one of the boys was in a wheelchair, right? The boy got hit in a wheelchair.
That was his second time getting shot, but he died this time.
Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? So shot. That's what I care about. My thing is, and there's never going to be. I don't believe, and I'm not dumb to where I think there's going to be a perfect world shot. That's why I'm saying how I'm saying it. There's always going to be a criminal element, right? But my shit is, bro, for us, because we want to. Oh, ain't no black on black crime, and you want to blame the black people. When we can't have the conversation, this is why those very they're not enough crime prevention programs. Well, you just want to look good for the white folks. No, I want less black people to die over shit that ain't got nothing to do with. But it's automatically the former rather than the latter, because what you worried about niggas dying for? As you said yourself, niggas don't care.
I wish you would start doing it, but it's cool. I appreciate him giving me the platform to clarify when y'all do the the YouTube thing. Because what I keep saying, I keep using this word care, and again, right? Like, okay, cool, I could just accept that, but then that means I would have to ignore the people who actually cared in their actions. I'm saying niggas like you and most niggas that have these microphones don't do nothing but talk about what's going on. Your care stops once the record button stops. Because I'm saying, cool, how many prevention organizations are you a part of in your community? How many?
None.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I'm not saying you a bad dude, like you like to put on black people, but I'm saying your care is to pick and choose news articles to then paint a blanket statement on black people. That's problematic, because in these small hotspot areas of crime, this is somehow an indication of what black people do, and we know that's not the case. So when I'm saying people don't care, I'm saying, yes, I'm acknowledging the majority of people ain't trying to fix nothing. They never have been. That's never been the case. It's always been a few. It's always been a mighty few trying to save everybody, and that's still the case now. So I guarantee you, when you do your due diligence, as you say you do, I'm willing to put some bread up. You will find people in that community that are trying to prevent the violence that is going on.
That's self-explanatory. We know that. There's always going to be somebody doing something. What I'm saying is this, though, right? Because those people aren't respected, because those people aren't lauded, because those people aren't supported. That's why it's so few and far between of them. Because niggas don't care. Again, we have a whole internet personality because of this now, Shad.
So I'm saying, are you the niggas that don't care? Or you niggas that care? Which one are you then? Which one are you?
Who is he? Hold on. We have a whole internet personality now. Because of this, that was birth of this. Charleston White said, hey man, I was out here doing everything I was supposed to be doing. I had the fucking prevention, I had the programs, I was doing this, I was doing that, I had a suit and tie. You niggas didn't give a fuck. You didn't care, you didn't support me, you didn't give me no money. So now what? Fuck it. Now I get out here and I get disrespectful and I say all this wild and crazy shit and so on and so forth. And that's what happens to a lot of people, Shad. And again, I'm not saying you do that for the glory, you do that for the money. There's no support because, again, your original statement that you said, by mistake, you know what I'm saying? The truth slipped out. Niggas don't care.
No, I didn't say it by mistake. You trying to twist it into something else.
I'm not trying to twist it, Shad. I'm just simply what you saying verbatim, brother. And again, that's the wonderful thing about the truth. It's going to come to the surface. We've had too many people that tell you this, and people get burnt out. And people, Shad, I have no incentive, none. Okay, I have absolutely no incentive to motherfucking get out here and waste my time, my resources, hell, risk my life, do any of this shit when I know niggas don't care. So you know what I'm gonna do, Shad? I'm gonna do my part in making sure that my child, right, is a good example. My child goes out here and he represents us in a good way. My child goes out here and he's not committing crimes. My child goes out here. So I'm definitely doing my part, brother. I'm doing my part because I'm not adding to the fucking nonsense, and I'm creating a culture, and I'm creating fucking, morals and values and a representative as to where people are going to see us in the way we need to be seen. So that's another thing that gets lost too. Because if you're not a boots on the ground and you're not in you're not doing nothing. No, brother, I'm doing some shit every day. I'm doing shit just off the strength of not being out here, being in the nigga shit, being in the criminality, shooting grandmas and kids and innocent bystanders.
If that is the case, wouldn't it be more impactful or more reason for a Ben Crump or anybody to highlight a situation where a kid who is doing all the things that you're saying is a great thing. He didn't commit any crimes. He didn't do anything. Blah, say blah, 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 blah. He should get justice. Shouldn't we elevate that? And if we're going to start doing things based off of news articles, did you hear what happened on July 4th where a white man killed his entire family?
I just talked about it.
Okay, which one? Because there's several.
Well, I don't know which one. Shit. I'm pretty sure it's several grandmas that got shot too, cheeky shit.
Okay, but that's the point. The point is this. We can find a news story on anything that we want on any holiday or any day we choose, but we always, or not say we, Black people that have a platform that lean a certain way tend to always highlight the niggas. So instead of doing that, for example, a perfect example of what I think is a great example is HAMP. HAMP didn't highlight some Chicago shooting that happened. He highlighted a boxing coach, a runner, just a normal guy with a very abnormal back history and situation, highlighted what he does, highlighted his involvement in the community, and goes, "Hey, coach, tell me how you got here. Tell me what you're doing. What does that require? Are you a rich man? Are you a man that just have a whole bunch of money? Tell me what you have." Man, I don't have much, but I make do with what I got. And I'll make sure I'm involved. There's somehow, some way, there's a solution to what it is that we're saying is a problem, which is highlighting the things that matter or highlighting the people in that area. But yet you're saying, well, highlighting the bad things or highlighting the negativity is going to do what?
No, that's not what I'm saying, Cheeky. I'm not.
Let's try something real quick, fellas. Right? Because we kind of talking about it, right? About who's doing what, who's understood. So I brought up just now 100 Black Men of America. They have a chapter in St. Louis, right? And it's a mentoring program and etc. Right? Let me see if we can call them and see what they're saying about this shooting. Hold on one second. Let's see if somebody answers.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling,
you can hear it
I'll
good.
see if this person is available.
Yeah.
Hampton Watson. This might be risky.
Thanks, Hampton Watson. Please stay on the line.
Think they're gonna pick up for us?
I mean, you did this before they did.
So
I'm sorry, this person is not available. If you would like to leave an additional message, please reply after the tone.
how you doing? This is DJ HAMP. We are concerned citizens regarding the shooting in East St. Louis that left 7 people shot, 5 people dead. I was once a member of 100 Black Men of America in Washington, D.C. So I would like to speak with you guys ever so briefly in regards to what's being done, how we confronting that shooting, and what's happening in the community. Please give me a call back at your earliest convenience at the number I called from. Thank you. All right. Maybe we'll get a call back. Damn. So, what is it then? What are we actually arguing? One thing that I think got slightly glossed over is why is the community and how it's seen, right? Only, like we say, this is the culture. Mr. Fantastic, right? I want to go back to that. Cheeky wasn't quite here yet. Is the culture the crime or is the culture Morehouse? Like, what is, when we say the culture, is it the crime or is it Morehouse? Like, how do we, what's our summary of that? You know what I'm saying? Because that we kind of like went past that a little bit, you know? Like, is the culture of Washington, D.C. the crime, or is it all the museums and all the Black-owned businesses and et cetera, et cetera? Like, what is the, how do we, when we look at the culture of a city, how do we, like, how do we define that?
Well, it all depends. It depends, right? I think if the city is a violent city, it's always going to come up in the discussion. I think it's inevitable, and I think it's reasonable because if I'm telling somebody to come to Jacksonville, right, and they do these things where they tell them go to motherfucking like Latanya Gardens or some shit or so on and so forth. Hey, yeah, man, somebody told me I should go there. No, brother, that was a troll thing. Do not take your ass over there, brother. So I think a lot of people don't understand because, like you said, to Shad's point, even though, bro, now I know Shad lives there now, and I never lived in Atlanta, but bro, I was going to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, since 80 something, right? You know, we religiously went to Atlanta like every year because it's like an hour away from Macon, right? And I know visiting there is not, but the post is not that far different. You know what I'm saying? Some shit happened in Atlanta, niggas hear about it in fucking Georgia if it's big enough for the most part. Shah, you weren't there yet, but if you guys remember, there was a kid that stole a car and he went up to fucking Atlanta. He got killed. I want to say it was either like late 90s or early 2000s. That made everybody was talking about that shit because, you know, hey, it was what it was. But just that context, right? The thing, Hamp, is what I'm saying is if the city has a violence problem, people are going to talk about that problem because that's something you need to be aware of, and it's something that I hope we want to reduce, and I think for the most part we want to reduce, especially again when it's something like this. Ham, like I said, this is I ain't heard. Listen, we all hear about, you know what I'm saying, random shootings or accidental shootings. This was a targeted fucking hit. Ham, as you said, this ain't no fucking joke, bro. This is this needs to. I know they have the people in custody, but the how, why? Because you orchestrate seven people hit 3 different locations. How do you know where these people are? What you had to do canvassing, you had to do scouting, you had to lay in the bushes, you might have put an air tag on a motherfucker, and it's 2 motherfuckers. So if it's 2 motherfuckers, we know it can't be all of them happening at the same time because that means hey, one happened at one location, and it's 3 different locations. So how are we orchestrating this? This is what I'm saying. But again, me just even asking the question, right, and making a comparison to one black guy dying because white folks involved. Well, why does it happen? Because we're automatically subconsciously taught not to care when niggas kill niggas. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. I think we're the biggest victims of this. Go ahead.
Is it desensitization? Because it's
I don't even think it's desensitization. Because as you say all the time, Hamp, it's less people dying now than in the 90s. You say this all the time.
Yeah.
So I think we get more of a thing, but you know, from the news and maybe social media, right? But yeah, no, I don't think it's a desensitization. I think it's just we're taught as a culture is like, hey, you know, it is what it is. The game is the game. Unfortunately, I really think that's the problem.
So
I don't think that's the problem, man.
I want to ask this question, Cheek, and you can address what you don't think is the problem. I just want to put this in the atmosphere, and you can say what you was gonna say. If I didn't watch the news, I wonder what my outlook would be on Chicago. You know, like if I was dropped in Chicago, like when I went there, Cheeky can attest. The food was trash. So that was a lie. They said the food was good. The food was not good. So they told the truth about that part. But just the parts we went to, and I had to drive like, Love C scooped me, I had to drive like 40 minutes. And you don't see none of this shit. So I just wonder what would people's summary be of Chicago just going there. You know? I wonder what
say it's just a city, bro. They would just say it's a city. They would just say it's a city. Just like when you go to Orlando, when you go to and this is why it frustrates me and it blows my mind and why I think it's not a problem. It's not that we don't care, it's just because we keep getting pushed stuff and black people that actually are around other black people or live, they be like, no, nigga, that's not it. Every single time we know, anytime, anything you think about black people never really come from black people that's from that place. It's always somebody that's zooming in on a certain area and then going, well, that's the problem. And then we try to figure out what's wrong with our image or why black people's image is this. It's because we have people that want to continuously highlight it and then go, well, I'm just saying the truth. No, you're highlighting things very intentionally, or it comes across intentionally that the news or whatever they keep pushing, but when you go there yourselves, you don't ever see the stuff we be talking about. Hell, we went to a beach. There's a beach in Chicago. Do people know that?
I didn't know that.
You see what I'm saying? There's so much more to Chicago than whatever is presented versus the things that we like to highlight, and then say that it's our culture and not separate that and go it's criminal culture, and then be the same people that say we're the people that allow all the culture, or we accept all the culture. No, we don't. Nobody accepts criminal culture because it's criminality. No one wants to be a part of it. No one wants to live amongst it, and people are willing to do whatever it takes to make things safer. But if you're part of a social economic class, the likely chance of you being around it is just there.
Okay. So, okay. I understand the breakdown. Let me read these real quick. AL with the $2 says, where you eat in Chicago? I call cap. Yo, man, listen, man. The Chicago dog is the worst experience I've ever had in my life, man. Mrs. Vaughn is worse than prison. Mrs. Vontae with the $5. Every city has poverty-stricken areas that you shouldn't go to. White, black, and Hispanic areas. That is not black culture. Bobby Bloom with the $5 says, every group cares more when someone of another group victimizes them. That is not unique to niggas. Sean with the $5 says, Shaw organization don't work. That bullshit been going on for 60 years and it has got worse. Just trying to get 501c like all the other hustlers. Sean Brewer with the $5 says, dudes don't care about interracial either. Just want to go pro-black. Fake outrage is insane. Shaw said out loud how most black people feel. In parentheses, don't care. Yeah, I read this one and one more. Dr. G with the $5 says, HAMP, East St. Louis is in Illinois, not in Missouri. Does Illinois have a chapter 100 black men that you can call? Is it just like, is it in proximity to St. Louis itself? Like, is this one of those things where if you do a split, you can stand in both states?
Yeah. Hey, it's like Augusta in Georgia, South Carolina. So yeah, I think that's right over the what's the river that separate? It's a big river that separates Illinois and Missouri.
I don't know.
On the other side of that river.
Okay,
the
so
Mississippi River.
It's right there.
Is it Mississippi?
Yeah.
All right, so it's right.
Mississippi separates it.
Is it right there? Is my question.
What you mean, to St. Louis in proximity?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, literally right over the bridge. Like so, literally
I don't know if 100 Black Men. I found another organization, Community Lifeline, which is in the city of East St. Louis, Illinois. If you want to call them, I don't know if 100 Black Men would have been the best organization to call for this particular issue, but this is the crime prevention.
What is it called?
I got the number too. Community Life Project. The number. They got a few different numbers. They got one, the family advocacy number. I can give you that one.
Come on.
It's 618 482 2950.
Good morning, Community Lifeline. This is Denise. I'm going to serve you.
How you doing, Miss Denise? My name is DJ Hamp. I'm a concerned citizen. We have a podcast, and we saw that shooting that happened. 7 people shot, 5 people dead. Are you familiar?
I am, but I think you want to talk to my director.
Okay, I'm ready.
Just a moment.
Okay. You have anything I should ask them specifically? Just essentially, what are they doing, right?
Actually, yeah. What is the response? Yeah. Are there programs that are in place?
Yo, what if the director's watching the show right now?
Maybe he busy.
Hi, this is Wabetta Granger from Community Lifeline
She busy.
Resource Center. Please feel free to leave me a message. I will call you back at my earliest convenience. Thank you and have a great day.
How you doing? My name is Hampton Watson, aka DJ Hamp. This might be risky. We are a panel full of concerned citizens. We only have 600 viewers watching at this time. We saw the shooting that happened where 7 people were shot in 3 different locations, 5 dead. And we, have conversations about this quite often. So I'll leave my number with the front desk so you can give me a call back at your earliest convenience so we can find out what's being done in reaction to and prevention of. Thank you. Maybe she outside, right? Man, I don't know. I'll call back in a little bit. Maybe they'll call us back. We'll see. I don't know, man. So, is it strictly the race component that interests us so much in Nolan Wells? Is it the foul play? Is it the excitement of it? Is it like Murder, She Wrote?
It's all those things.
It's the race, Hamp. Let's just be real, bro. Just like again,
race number one.
Race number one. Just like the only reason we gave a damn about the Austin Metcalf situation, race. People only care when there's a racial issue, specifically white and black. We briefly mentioned the Mr. Chow and Carmack Belton situation. You know why that one didn't get as much Hamp? Because it wasn't a white guy, it was an Asian guy. Even that matters. The racial dynamic when fucking a white person kills a black person versus Asian or Indian or whatever, even that matters. Niggas only care when the white man is involved. Hamp, again, how we know this is true? You talked about it, right? The what they call them, the Scorpion team up in Memphis, when those 4 black police officers beat that damn man to death. Niggas cared for all of them like maybe 3 to 5 days, and then it got the fuck on. Why? Because even though it was the police doing it, they were all black officers. So niggas didn't care. We're never going to fix this, bro. And we're never going to approve until we say that a thing is a thing.
Damn.
It's just a disingenuous statement. Again, like I said, a lot of people, people got platforms now, so everybody can talk. But so for instance, like when I first moved to Atlanta, Hemp, I remember I was a lot more interested or paying attention to local politics in Jackson because I hadn't completely in my mind like adopted the idea that now I'm in Atlanta. Now I need to start focusing on what's happening in front of me. But I was in Mississippi most of my life, so I'm still, interested in listening to the Mississippi races. Again, when I say people don't care, I'm acknowledging the majority of citizens aren't activists. So their only real concern is what's going on around them. Most people not watching the news either.
Hey, it's called New Life.
Yes.
This is Hampton.
Hi. Yes, this is Wybetta Granger.
How you doing, ma'am?
Alrighty. I was told this is Wybetta Granger from Community Lifeline. I was told you were calling me or something.
Yes, ma'am. I was calling you. We saw the shooting on the news. 7 people shot, 5 people dead. Looked like 2 young boys did it, and so we have these conversations quite often about what's actually happening in these communities, who's following up on these, both being proactive and.
Hold on 1 second for me.
Okay.
Okay. Can you?
I was talking too much.
A little bit.
I felt it too, Shad. I was talking too much.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like I'm being too heavy-handed.
Yeah, just a little bit. She probably already stressed out, man. That's hard work.
Yeah.
Okay, and where are you from, sir? Let me ask that.
I'm from Connecticut. I lived in D.C. for 10 years. Now I live in Houston.
Okay, but I'm saying, like, are you with the organization? I mean, I'm not understanding your role.
Black people died, so okay. I'm not out there. So I'm trying to see who's out there. Like I'm part of Omega Psi 500 Black Men of America. So there's communities that need to be impacted. And so I'm wondering like who's doing the work out there, and if so, what's being done.
Okay, well, we're putting together a plan, and we have a plan that's going forward. We have another meeting at 4:00 today, and that's what I have so far for this family. And yes, we do have violence prevention team organizations here, and so yeah, we're working on it.
Okay, what's the demographic like? Is East St. Louis a pretty violent area in your estimation?
It's Cornelia X. Every city in America is considered pretty violent.
You said every city?
I live here. I don't think it's that violent, but things happen.
Okay. No, and I know it's tough work, and I apologize for being so forward with it. We just need to understand, And now when you say everything is violent, are you accepting the fact that it's violent, or you guys are actively doing something about it?
Sir, what do you want to know? Because the thing about it, yes, I live here, I work here, I do the work here. So what is it? What's the point of this line of questioning? Do I care? Do we care? Yes, we care. Yes, we're doing things about it. So I don't understand the line of questioning.
Well, I'm trying to see, what, maybe you guys have a plan or how to confront these things, and maybe I can implement in my area. I'm looking for some advice, and then how you guys go about this will help edify me. Why you start yelling?
So we do have a model that we're using because your questions
are good questions.
They are good questions, and they're great questions.
Yes, ma'am.
But again, we're in the middle of a crisis.
Yeah.
So to be
in the middle of
severely is not, that's just not the best thing.
Yeah.
I mean, to call me and say, okay, look, we're trying to figure out a model in our area, or we want to know what models you want to use or implementing. That's one thing. But to call and say, well, what you doing? I mean, we're working it. We're in the middle of it.
I got you. Yeah, no, I just think. So this is what I think as a director, right? I think it's your job to do things like what I'm answer these questions, do the work. If you get flustered, everybody gonna be flustered.
Baby, let me say this.
Go ahead.
I'm not flustered at all. I'm flustered with your line of questions.
You said it was good questions.
Okay. Great questions, maybe the wrong time.
Okay.
And if you wanted to set up a meeting to try to find out what we're using, I don't mind sharing. I share all over. I share information. But the questions are coming, and we're in the middle of it today. Today is the day. Everything happened yesterday, and we're trying to put plans in place in 4 different areas of our community to address some of these issues. So it's like when you call to say, it's like, are you calling for information? You're calling for resources. You're saying what is being done. A whole lot is being done on the ground here.
Yeah, no, I got you. 100%. Where can we don't? I know funds are often needed and things like that, and I understand you in the middle of it. What is there any way to donate funds? You guys some type of link or something? Because I know this stuff costs money too.
So you saying to this particular family?
No, to the organization, so you guys can be on them.
Our organization is Community Lifeline Family Resource Center, and we're located in East St. Louis. And again, my addressing it is that we are trying to, at this point, get counseling for staff, for everybody, and we're working it now. We're in the middle of it, so that's why. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're getting calls from news. It's just like a lot of calls coming in, and we're trying to really address the family right now. And they still have people in critical condition, and so things like that. So when I'm getting a call, and it's like, look, I was talking to, again, even some of the family members today, and trying to help them just navigate some early next steps, right? And then we're trying to set up with the housing authority in East St. Louis to be able to address some of those issues. So we're working on a plan now, and trying to see what is needed where.
Yeah.
And so that's where again.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, I hear the stress. I hear the stress.
Today ain't test day. I got today is implementation.
Yes, ma'am.
But I mean, I am happy to circle back and talk to you, and share information with you, show you what we're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Inviting you out. I don't care. You can come out and see our violence prevention model that we're using. But today is like go day. It's like
100%.
We're trying to make it happen today. So
yes, ma'am.
We're setting up a lot of different things.
Yes, ma'am. Now I heard you say 4 different locations. You trying to get. You being proactive in terms of people needing counseling. You got 2 people in critical condition. So 100%. Well, I appreciate the information. Keep on grinding. And I'll pay attention to the website as well. and I'll circle back with you, and I might take you up on that offer to see what's being done out there, and how we can implement that in these other places to prevent these things from unfortunately happening for sure.
Yeah. Are you looking at? Do you follow the CBI models?
No.
Anywhere? Okay. So that's a good place to start too. It's because they have conferences and workshops and stuff all the time, and it might be one already in your area. That's why I'm suggesting that too as a possibility.
I know, but me and you friends now, so I'm coming out there with you.
Look at you. You ain't trying to be my friend. You trying to stress me out. You trying to add to the stress.
my humblest apologies, man.
Yeah, look here. I'm like, y'all, what? I'm like, everybody go test me today? No, this is jump day. I'm like, meeting with state police. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yes, man.
Like, look here. Now look. I wore high heels today. I didn't know the day was going like this. So,
Indeed.
Yeah, and I'm supposed to be on vacation in 2 days. This ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay.
No, but we are. I'm sorry, but we are actively, just trying to get everything laid down. It's a whole family, and it's a family involved with the whole situation on both sides. So it's
yes, ma'am.
100%.
Well, I'll leave you to, and I'll circle back with you after you get off on vacation, so we can continue the edification. You know what I mean?
Say your name again?
Hampton.
What's the Hampton what? I want the whole name.
Watson.
Watson Hampton or Hampton Watson?
Hampton Watson.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm gonna follow you. I'm gonna look for you.
All right, DJ Hamp on Instagram. I'll be there.
DJ Hamp on Instagram.
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
All right. Okay, thank you.
All right, be safe. Bye-bye.
Real deal, man. Shout out to her, man. I'm looking at fantastic. He don't know the stress they go in them type of jobs. He's so ready to get a clip, man. Y'all so tacky, bro. Like, shout out to her, man. You can see the stress. You can see her. You can see her get herself.
Listen, bro.
Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish because I've actually done that work, and I'll say that it's very stressful. Resources are always limited, so I ain't gonna lie to you. Him, what you did was dope, but I expected her response, bro. Considering what's happening right now, I understand why she had the response, but I'm glad y'all was able to kind of get it back where it needed to be, man. That's hard work. So the fact that she was even returned your call that fast, that's a good thing. And I hope a relationship does come from it.
Yeah,
100%. But no, I was going to give that credence. I understood the humanity in the situation. Of course, their initial reaction, but we got to give her a chance to see if she's going to get back. Man. And then, despite fucking Hamp doing what she did, she got back. She explained it, and I don't see the woman as what's her name, but Sha, you're not even understanding and listening that you're repeating what I've already said. You're repeating what I said.
We found somebody that cared. We found somebody that's actually on the ground doing the work. It's an opposite.
Well, no, of course. But at the same time, she's already expressed what I said. The main issue and problem as to why you don't have enough people. As to why I'm not going to put myself out here and do it. As you just stated, it's extremely stressful. The resources are extremely limited. And again, like you said, now it's you're one person that's got to put on 30 hats.
I got you, but y'all, I know, but I'm saying y'all keep telling me how much y'all care, and then every time we break it down, it's like I can't do it. Then we caught a woman on the phone doing it all.
No, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So and listen, Sean, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. This is what we call my military people qualifications, right? The worst thing you could be in the motherfucking shop was the most qualified motherfucker. Cause everybody's seeing what the most qualified motherfucker had to do to where he getting called in the middle of the night. He this, he that. He got to work this job. He got to work that job. You're the go-to guy. So you know what you don't want to be? Because everybody won't motherfucking come as a collective to help and get the same thing. No, I'm not going to put myself in that motherfucking fire. I don't want to be that because we're human, Shad, as you said. This woman
I got you. I'm saying people with your rhetoric make it harder for them to do their job. That's why I got a problem. Everything.
What's my rhetoric?
Finding a random clip to say this somehow shows what all the black people are doing, stuff like that.
I wish you stop saying that for real though, Shad.
That's what happened, bro. That's what happened.
Real shit though. Real shit, Shad. I leave all of our shit here. Hamp will tell you, bro. I don't clip none of this. I'm horrible at clipping, brother. Horrible.
What are you talking about?
You keep saying clip, but
I'm saying you found.
I'm doing this for social media purposes.
No. That's not what I said. I said you found that article. You found that news article to put into this storyline and juxtapose it with the Nolan Wells case to make a statement about black people. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is a show, Shy, and again, it's a point that I've been making, and it supports my point. So what do we do? We have motherfucking conversations about penises and vaginas. We can't fucking have conversations about crime.
Yeah, we having it right now, and I'm just calling out the ideas.
So talking about the conversation and the way that we do it regularly, but either way, that's neither here nor there. Just getting back to something that's very important, though, right? So still, another thing y'all love to say is, oh well, it's poverty. And what's the name had the lady put, I think it's Vontae, Miss Vontae or whatever, she put a thing up there. Where there's bad neighborhoods and there's poverty everywhere. The problem is though, when you compare the white poverty to the black poverty, why is the black poverty always more violent? That's the question. See, this is how you know we have.
You done research on that?
Yes, I actually have, and I use Georgia as the template.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do research and see if I can see if
I use Georgia as the template for it, Cheeky, because I was comparing Macon to I want to say
instead of doing Georgia, we'll just do predominantly white areas where the crime.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem.
So
though,
I'll find like Idaho, like I'll maybe go to Idaho and then go to their low economic cases and see how much crime, white on white crime is happening.
But the density part of it, you got to also include the density.
That's fine. We'll pull every single low poverty white nation or state, and then see what their
you mean high poverty? You mean high poverty, not low poverty?
Yeah, high poverty and
high poverty,
low income, low class.
Yeah. Low income white communities. Low income white community violent crime.
I may go state by state, and then maybe that'll give us a better outlook, right? And instead of just going. So I think I'm gonna look that up. Let me do that.
Yeah, because and Cheeky, that's what I'm telling you, Cheeky. But Cheeky, Cheeky, this is what I'm saying. Even when we make those juxtapositions and those things, right? What you come to find for some reason for us, bro, and this is why I say it's even a bigger thing. Me saying we don't care about the shit that we see going around leads to more of this shit happening because we don't promote. Hey, man, you ain't gotta kill a nigga. Right? Or at least, like I said, in the most part, if it gets to motherfucking guns and shit being drawn, bro, deal with the niggas you're dealing with. Don't go through here, just shooting up shit. You know what I'm saying? And again, I whenever you really start looking into it, bro, oh, well, man, Chicago, this and Chicago, would you know anything about Chicago? Of course not, nigga. Only thing I knew about Chicago in the 90s was what? Motherfucking Michael Jordan and basketball. That's it. I didn't hear one negative thing. I didn't hear anything negative from a criminal aspect about Chicago probably until I knew who Larry Hoover was. Until I heard the name Larry Hoover, everything associated with Chicago for me, why y'all niggas keep trying to say this shit, was positive, and it was basketball. It was Michael Jordan. Same thing with LA. Way before I heard anything about a fucking gangbanger and I knew what a Crip actually fucking was. LA was motherfucking Magic Johnson and the Lakers. So y'all got to stop this narrative, man, as to where it's just negative, and all this other shit. And no, bro, it's like once you have an understanding of different things, and then you actually start the shit starts going. Of course, you have an understanding, and that's just what it becomes. But it can't be that way if it isn't a reality. If there's no crime happening in these places, HAMP, how the fuck I know who the fuck Rayful Edmond is?
That's not the argument. See, that's what I'm saying. You keep.
Well, it is the argument, Shad.
No, it's not the argument. Nobody has made an argument. There's no crime. What we're saying is
making that argument.
Okay, so what are you talking about?
So let Shad respond. Let me just read these real quick. I'm trying to be better at this. The super chats. Justin with the $5 says, check the numbers. Chicago not even top 25. Most dangerous cities per capita. Most people equal larger raw numbers. Rockford and East St. Louis are not close. Jay Miller with the $10 says, respectfully, as someone who grew up in a criminal lifestyle, those outreach programs weren't effective in my neighborhood. Making money by any means necessary was the top priority. Sean Brewer with the $5 says, laughing my ass off. Checkmate. Race hustling, they don't care. Sean Brewer with the $2 says, laughing my ass off, she got mad. Aaron with the $2 says, she proved brother 3 times point in real time. Wrong person. Black Dawn with the $5 says, not the best phone operator. Fantastic looking a little stronger right now. Laughing my ass off. K-Head Hot with the $5 says, that's my city. Thank you, Hemp, for calling and having a conversation. Pound 89 blocks.
That emotional. It'd be crazy, bro.
Aaron with the $2 says, does this prove black women in handling pressure at work? Sean Brewer with the $2 says, that lady full of shit. Cut it out. Ain't no stress. Sean Brewer with the $2 says, what stress? Explain the stress. Sean Brewer with the $5 says, when she said, what is your concern? Tell you everything you need to know. She don't got no real questions. Obviously, lady got mad as fuck. Y'all want to respond to any of those?
I'm gonna keep saying. I wouldn't agree with Sean Brewer. The best blacks to ever exist, all on YouTube at the same time. We want to change the world. All we got to do is get all the blacks that come here. We could change the world tomorrow. The best blacks are currently here today.
Well, no, I wouldn't agree. I wouldn't agree with Sean Brewer in the whole no stress thing. It's clearly going to be stressful, brother. Like she said, she voiced it and gave examples about all the different people calling, right? So, and that's what I lean to, that point of as to how and why there aren't enough of those programs, because they're underfunded, they're undersupported, and that's our fault, quote unquote. But at the same time, it's our fault because and this is my overall thing. We are taught to not care about niggas being killed by niggas. We're taught to only care when a nigga is killed by a non-nigga, i.e. white person. Y'all keep trying to get around this, but you're not gonna be able to get around it. And the buddy,
I already got around it. We around it already.
No, you didn't, brother. Nah, brother.
So, we around it, fantastic. We around it already.
You ain't gonna never get around this mountain, brother. So hold on, just real quick, and to the person that's Cheeky, just real quick. So Buddy sent the super chat talking about Chicago not being in the top 25. Okay, yeah, Chicago isn't in the top 25, but I'm looking at it right now. Memphis, Detroit, Baltimore, St. Louis, Little Rock, Cleveland, Oakland, Albuquerque, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Birmingham, Anchorage, Houston, Stockton, Springfield, Denver, Baton Rouge, San Francisco, Rockford, New Orleans, Bakersfield, Tulsa, Phoenix, Indianapolis, and Washington, D.C. How many of those fucking things are predominantly black or have a substantial black motherfucking thing? And you know that the crime is because of black people.
Anchorage?
Y'all got to stop doing this.
Anchorage,
I don't
Alaska?
know why. What are we making faces for? What's going on?
Anchorage?
You said Anchorage, Alaska?
Anchorage?
Well, no. I said how many of those places?
No. I'm making faces.
No, y'all trying to play. I said how many of those places? So yeah, we got fucking Anchorage, but what about Memphis, Detroit, Baltimore, St. Louis? I'm going in order. Memphis, black. Detroit, black. Baltimore, black. St. Louis, black. Little Rock, black. Little Rock, again, y'all niggas ain't old enough to remember banging in Little Rock. Cleveland, black. Oakland, black. Albuquerque, that's Mexicans. Milwaukee, black. Kansas City, black. Birmingham, black.
Well,
you got till you get to the first white place is Anchorage is number 12, and they ain't even white. Them goddamn Eskimos. I guess they throwing spears and motherfucking polar bears.
St. Louis ain't.
So why y'all
but St. Louis ain't mostly black though. It's like 40%.
We know where the crime coming from, Ham. I understand that. I don't even.
Wait, that's the thing. Do we know?
Yes, we know.
Okay, that's why I'm gonna look it up. That's why, because I have to question these things, right? Because if I start looking up different things or looking up things and finding out that's not the case, it'll be very interesting to piece it all together, right? Because what I'm saying is I don't know. I'm not from those areas. I don't know anything about those areas. What I do know is the assumption is every single time that there's crime, we're going to assume it's black or majority black. And again, we could be right, we could be wrong, but we need to look these things up.
But hold on, but I'm not saying you're doing this maliciously, Cheeky. I'm not saying you're doing this maliciously. That's what I'm saying. Specifically violent crime. I'm
okay,
specifically violent.
And if we start going specifically violent, right? Are we going to start including pedophiles? Or are we going to start doing the thing that we do before? We're going to start including the child rape. We're going to start including those things.
Yeah, too? But I don't even think those places would be synonymous with that, though, Cheeky. I think those are going to be more suburban areas.
Which is why I'll have to look those things up because I don't know either. What I'm saying is, based off of the information of violent crime, are we going to start including rapes? Are we going to start including pedophilia? We're going to start including those things.
It's in the thing. Let me see if I can change it.
So rape is already. I think when they say violent, I think they include
for those
rape.
cities. We know those.
Yeah, it is. We looked it up in FBI statistics. Cheeky, those are included in the numbers.
But FBI gives you a totality of the entire nation. What I'm saying is in those cities. all those cities you just named, there's more crime than just murder.
What's the argument though? What's the argument?
What I'm saying is, I don't know the percentage when we're saying murder, right? I don't know how much of a percentage black people make of that, because I'm sure there are white people there too. I just don't know. So what I'm willing to do is go and look and see what that percentage is for each of those quote unquote cities in those states, figure out what that is for that particular race, and also the rape crimes and all that, and then just do a totality and see if maybe there's a big difference between the two. I'm just curious. I have no idea.
Yeah, and it does change slightly if you do violent crime versus just crime in general, Cheese. So like Memphis is still number one regardless, right? But like for violent crime, Detroit's number two, then Baltimore, Houston. Houston moves up a bunch from violent crime, and then Nashville, Denver, Washington D.C., Philly, Indianapolis, and Phoenix. Yeah, it says Nashville.
What? Nashville is up there? Really?
That's what it say violent crime, so that will help y'all's point.
Well, but that's the point. But that's the point, Mr. Fantastic.
I'm not cheeky. I'm not saying we own and we're the only ones there.
I didn't say that, Fantastic. I'm
not saying that you said it.
It's not an attack to what I'm saying. It's not an attack. I'm just saying I don't know. I would have never guessed.
Yeah, me
Nashville will be up there. That's why I was like, oh, I just don't know. So let me look it up. My stance is this: I'm not saying I'm right, but what I am saying is I'm willing to go look the stuff up on an individual level and compile something and then show you where the sources are coming from, because I would have never guessed Nashville was up there. You want to know why? Because I don't think about Nashville, just like I don't think about most of these places you're naming. But I'm interested, and it is interesting to me to hear.
You know about Memphis, man. Let's not do that, man.
That's not Nashville. I don't think I just said
understand
Nashville.
that, but that's what I'm saying. But all the other places, though, that's these places I named off the top of my head: Memphis, Detroit, Baltimore, DC, Philly. Those places that I named specifically that we're known for, they're in the list. Is what I'm saying. Of course, they're going to be out. Like we all agree. None of us thought about fucking Anchorage, Alaska. I don't know what the fuck they doing up there.
And I don't think that's black people up there. That's just me personally.
I agree. Ain't no niggas in Alaska.
Okay, so but we don't know. So I need to figure out what's going on there. I'm not saying if it's all black.
Don't even waste your time on the research, brother. I give it to you. I'm 100% white and Eskimos, my nigga. No niggas. Don't even count one nigga.
And then we got to figure out why.
He ain't a nigga.
And then, okay, fantastic. And if that's the case, then the next question is, why is this happening? And if there's some commonality between all of these points, then we need to start having a conversation about, hey, this is the commonality between these points.
So
we can't just go ahead.
Go ahead, Shaw.
No, I'll let him go.
No, go ahead, Shaw.
I'm just saying.
I said people like they don't want that. They don't want the deep dive. It's easier to do this.
Hold on,
because even in real time, right? Like there's no redeeming qualities about black people when you talk to certain black people. So we got Ben Crump in the middle making a funny face, right? And we acknowledge that the most of us aren't sitting around concerned trying to be active about these issues. But what we do know is when Ben Crump shows up, all the major media markets hit it. Now everyone's talking about these. Now we having these conversations, and we get a chance to again examine the justice system. That's not bad. That's bad. HAMP called a local organization on the ground, and in the middle of a chaos, she got a little flustered because HAMP was hitting her hard with questions. Now she a race hustler. It's no redeeming qualities. It don't matter what niggas do for it ain't good enough for some of y'all niggas that don't do nothing. That's the crazy part about it. Y'all don't do nothing. Never have done anything. Let's see some resumes for all the niggas with the strong opinions. What have you done to better your community? And then we'll do this. We're gonna give y'all this so we can stop having the same conversation. If you take care of your kids, you should be applauded. Got you. We putting that in the bucket. Now what else? With these strong opinions about how bad black people are, what are y'all doing to help? That's the conversation at some point. Because when we see people that are helping, if they're not perfect, y'all gonna slap them in the face too. The lady got flustered for 2 minutes.
But Shad, we did that part. And you know what the answer was? They don't care. It's not their responsibility. So again, yes, that we've already had that conversation. And I'm not saying we shouldn't have it again. I think we should stress that more than we stress anything else. Because what you find interesting is somebody with a platform will go, hey, instead of highlighting there was 26 people that got shot, let's highlight the person that's trying to do something and see if we can help them. That's the difference, Shad. So the thing is, and I don't know, they say criticizing and shitting on the community is actually helping the community. not highlighting people that are actually helping the community and try to bring them on a platform and go, what is your story? What makes you you? And how do we help you do that? And how can we then implement that? Because Hemp did end up doing that on the phone. And after the lady, it's just calm down a little bit. Because again, we don't give any grace to black people. We don't give any, especially not no black woman. Are you crazy? Why we give grace to them? Oh, not in red pill manosphere. We're not in this space. All we do is applaud them. Apparently, they get a degree because black people supposed to get a degree. Oh, why we doing that? We always praising them for. There is no grace, and the only grace we are willing to give is for I guess the upstanding black man, because they want to hate black women, or they want to be that for black. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. But there's no grace and there's no nuance until it come their way. Because we seen that happen already, right? That word nuance came up. The N word came up last week, and then the following week, what came up? I raised my kids, and now it's coming up again this week, and then another week that came up, or in the same conversation. I don't care. Why should I have to help this group? Why should I have to help this community? Why? And then when you ask them, why do you talk so much shit? Because I can. And me talking shit actually helps the community. This ain't what you saying, Fantastic. This is a conversation from last week.
I never said that.
Fantastic, you ain't say this, but I'm just pointing out this. We're compiling all the things we've heard in regards to black people and in regards to quote unquote the community, and then the othering. They never want to separate black criminals from black culture. They always want to include it. And then after they include it, say, we're the only race of people that don't exclude black criminality. It's a lot of talking points. And when I combine them, because I am going to do it, I'm going to combine all of these talking points, do all of this research, and I will find a way to present a video that's short form, or that won't lose you. And once it happens, we will see what their next response will be. Hamp, if you can find any other people that are helping the community do what you're doing, which is just highlighting, hey, what do you think about this? That's much appreciated. It's better than what the other niggas is doing. I swear to God.
Word. So Mr. Fantastic, when I listen to what Cheeky and Sean are saying, right? I did this video on this boy. Oh shit. I didn't mean to do that. Oh. He boxes. Not the one I just did. Why did they do that? He boxes. I think he's out of Georgia. I can't remember it off the top of my head. You know what interests me the most about that video? Where he just won. He won. He got a knockout. He like 10 or 9, right? His dad talk kind of slang like us, but he's like very well spoken, a little boy, you know? And people was commenting on the video. It was a pre-record. Oh, who cares? Most of them are not him. Why are you highlighting the one-off? Why are you highlighting an outlier? You know, like it was almost like being framed like I was trying to like paint a picture that wasn't true about most little black boys. That interests me. You know, I usually don't respond to many comments. I just like them, and move on. But that didn't make sense to me. Right. As opposed to saying, oh, the little boys joining a panel to where, you got kids doing the right thing, gloves up, guns down, shit like that. And they were like, oh, why? He's the minority. He's this. And I was like, why that though? Why not even in that moment you take the time to applaud the boy? I'll be putting up those posts on my community wall, maybe for like a year or so. Right. And somebody said, what's the point of this? This isn't black culture. This is the past. This is the minority of us. I understand people have their opinions, but I'm thinking, what is that demographic where when they see something positive, they can't acknowledge it? Right? Like they can't be in the moment to say, oh, that's good. You ever seen that? Like, yo, it's that's an interesting thing that I'm pulling from what Cheeky and Shaw were kind of saying.
No, I understand that. And it depends on where it's coming from. If it's coming from one of us, I think it's oversaturation with the negative, bro. again, I think the worst thing that happened with the internet is to bring to light a lot of the things that you would have never knew about had the internet never not existed. I think that's another thing too. Again, there's humanity in this, right? Everything, positive, negative, whatever. Just like even people thinking like what the standard should be. Shit. Everybody, like I said, everybody on the internet makes 6 figures and got 8 businesses and fuck bad bitches, right? So again, those things, I think that's a part of it also. The problem though, when you do that, depending on if it's coming from people outside, of course, that's just the rhetoric and we're all the same or whatever. But if it comes from within ourselves, I think it says a lot about again, the very, very poor rapport we have amongst each other in ideology. I keep trying to tell y'all this. As much as y'all criticize me and so on and so forth, bro, I look at this shit full circle. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel the ways about any of this. I just say what I say and I go on about my
question,
right? But
question, Mr. Fantastic, why does Shad not believe you?
I don't know why Shad doesn't believe me. My hypothesis as to why Shad does not believe me is because my delivery, and I don't care about the tone, and I don't care about the reception of what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is based off of facts and things that I can use to support my opinion when I don't have solid, data statistics to support it. So like I told him, right, we had a conversation about Atlanta. I just looked up the stats and data when it comes to crime statistics in Atlanta. Everything I said was right. I looked up Bibb County, I looked up Fulton County, I looked up DeKalb County, and it was exactly like what I said, Hamp. I had lived in Georgia for fucking 23 years. I lived in Georgia for 23 years, right? So, but I know, being from Georgia, certain spots were known for certain things, right? Just like where I'm here now. So what I'm saying is there's a problem and an issue when you say, hey, we have a problem and an issue. And that problem is why we're not getting better from a participation standpoint that Shad is talking about. Because when you dare say, hey, man, hey, this shit is not cool. This crime shit is out of hand. Oh, well, why this and why that? Black on black crime don't exist. Well, yeah, black on black crime does exist, just like white on white crime exists, just on like Asian on Asian crime exists. But then niggas want to say proximity crime. So, okay, if it's proximity crime, why is our violent crime amongst each other higher than everybody else's?
Nah, that ain't why I don't believe you. I question your efforts because I got introduced to you erroneously using statistics, and I watched you do it multiple times, and when I came up, you finally realized, like, oh, I don't know if you was doing it on purpose, but you tout yourself as a person that knows more than everybody else. I was just shocked to see you discuss statistics in a way that, I mean, middle school statistics lets you know how to appropriately talk about data and interpret it. So that was first. But I just have a notion. I think most individuals have realized there's capital gain in discussing salaciously the dysfunction going on in black communities. It's not about changing anything, because as long as it stays this way, the money will rake in. That's what I truly believe about most people who grab these microphones. I can't wait till the next time I talk to August. I can't wait. Can't wait till I talk to him again. So I don't believe at y'all core that y'all are sitting around trying to figure out how to solve black people's issues. I think y'all got charisma. Y'all got a little paper to get microphones, and y'all know, just like people before y'all who didn't look like y'all, hey, we can use black people's dysfunction to make some bread. That's what it's about. Because I'm saying, if your care and passion is so, I would expect outside of these microphones, and I'm not saying Miss Fantastic or anybody, y'all got to go and be the savior of black people. I would expect, and you do a great job of taking care of your kids. Like I said, that should be accounted for, because I was one of those boys who didn't get that, right? So I'm accounting for that. But I'm saying, if I'm comparing us to people before us, when things were a lot tougher, they were younger, they were more ferocious, they were more courageous. They didn't sit behind a microphone and talk. Then the part about it is the double talk. Y'all engage in the same behaviors that supposedly make black people look bad. Yeah, like I said, y'all talk about spin that, but nigga, I know your playlist is full of debaucherous music. I know it is. That you bump on a daily. You Yeah,
and Martin Luther King was out here fucking hoes.
That ain't what
fucking white women.
I agree. Right. And he also
what
put
we saying is what
you
we
right.
saying.
So hey, listen. So if you cool.
What are we saying?
All right, cool. So if you want to take some notches off his jacket because he was
I'm
an
not
adulterer.
taking notches off his jacket.
No, I'm saying, but it's crazy for you to be comparing yourself to him when he actually was on the ground doing the work. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, and I'm simply saying you're saying that he was a person doing the work.
I ain't saying you got to be perfect, Ms. Vitez. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you got to be
so
perfect.
what are we saying, Shad? Nobody's perfect. What
I'm saying that's why to what HAMP made. That's what I'm saying. I don't have no personal issue with you, but what I'm saying, I'm watching, I'm listening. You ain't the first of your kind. You're not doing nothing novel. You're not the first black person to tout themselves as I'm the one that don't got no emotion and I can see the truth. I'm gonna have the clear vision. And then the shit you say has been said 20 times before you said. You was talking about Chicago. You brought up Chicago, but then when you put a list up, Chicago not even on it. Why are you talking about Chicago? Why Chicago coming out your mouth? Because somebody else said it. I've heard it before.
Not because nobody else said it, because every fucking summer, every fucking what's the name? I said it. I told you the reason. The media takes a local fucking situation to where even though it may not be, what I can tell you for sure, Shot, no matter how it comes up, Chicago has some of the highest fucking mass shootings on fucking summer holidays. That's a fact. That's a fact. Undeniable.
But I'm saying, why then when we talking about the black community, Chicago is used as a dog whistle to speak on black people, but it's not even the most violent city. If we talking about dealing with crime, I'm saying there's an issue with crime in all these cities you named. But I'm saying even though when we talk about them, using Chicago as the example shows to me the lack of actual research to see what the problem is.
Well, they don't cover Memphis for whatever reason. But be it Memphis not having a population, or be it Memphis being whatever, I don't know. Memphis not having enough revenue. The media don't report on Memphis, but we know every shot. Did you not know that fucking Memphis is a dangerous place?
Yeah, from Jackson.
All right then. So this is the big part of this.
And I don't know about a dangerous place because I kicked it in Memphis. At one point in time, Jackson, Mississippi was considered when I was a teenager.
Same thing with Macon.
And what I'm saying is, bro, I walked around that and enjoyed life.
I got you. And Shot, I'm not
because I wasn't a criminal. I knew criminals, but I wasn't a criminal.
Shot, what I'm saying is this, and this is what I'm saying, Shot. This is the part where we're missing. Two things can be true at the same time. Shot, I don't believe that a nigga get off the plane in Memphis and he ducking bullets or he getting shot. Of course, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, Shot, from a statistical standpoint, if you are in fucking Memphis, Tennessee, the chances of you being shot or involved in some shootings is 100 times that of fucking Waycross, Georgia. That's a fact, Shot.
I was born in Waycross. That's crazy.
So that's a fact. So you know that's a fucking fact. Waycross country as hell. Ain't nothing going on. Waycross country's a motherfucker, right?
They got the issues.
Very little crime going on in comparison to a Memphis or Chicago. Shot, that's all I'm saying. Y'all act like when I voice a fact, I am somehow talking down or brother, I'm just simply telling what the data says and what the black consciousness or the black community understands. I say give me a violent fucking city. It's gonna be Memphis, it's gonna be Baltimore, it's gonna be Chicago, it's gonna be Atlanta, it's gonna be Miami, it's gonna be LA, it's gonna be Oakland, it's gonna be certain names that we just automatically, oh shit, can't forget fucking Louisiana, Baton Rouge, and New Orleans, right? It's gonna be certain shit that we automatically knew because that's what we've always been taught, be it media, be it people we run into, and you know what I'm saying, and people that come from that area and tell you so on and so forth. That's all I'm saying, Shad. I'm not denigrating the entire city and just saying, oh man, don't go to Memphis because you go there, you go get shot. No, but what I'm saying is we know those places have a reputation for violence. And that's all I'm saying, bro. It shouldn't be a problem if I'm saying that and it's factually supported by the data and statistics. That shouldn't be an issue.
I think if that was all you were saying, then yeah, we could. It'll be an easy conversation to get through. But again, I think what you do is you then extrapolate the minority of us and then try to paint a picture of black people. So again, right, you talk about Memphis. We know even in Memphis, right, where they have a problem with crime, the majority of the people, even in the poverty areas, aren't criminals. And I'm saying we know the media is not invested in having conversation that way. I sent HAMP. I don't know if we got time to get today because it was I guess she's a journalist, black journalist. She was talking about media literacy, and I'm saying the way we had these conversations is important, bro. Because even with the Nolan case, if you listen to the way they are characterizing what's happening, you can see the bias within it. So when I'm talking to us, I would expect, and it goes back to W.D. Du Bois about double consciousness, right? I understand I'm a African. I have to see myself a black person in America through that lens, but I also have to see myself through the lens of being an American. And what I know is, in this country, my image has always been painted in a light that's not truthful. So my expectation and my demand is from people that look like us to make sure when we having these conversations, have them in a way that's accurate. Because if we're talking about helping, the conversation is, then what? Crime is bad in Memphis, then what? What are we going to do about it as black people in Georgia? You in Macon, or you in Jacksonville, crime in Atlanta is this. Then what? What are we going to do to deal with this? I would expect that's the sentiments that we have. But what I see often in these conversations, there's no redeeming qualities about nobody. About the little boys, about the poor people, about black women. Like I said, the lady got flustered because right now, I'm sure she's getting call after call after call about what's going on. And because she got flustered, somebody said a super chat about how they can't be. It's not fitting, bro. Where's the grace for your people? And I watch niggas have grace 24 hours with a nigga talk. No, man, I don't get into that. Y'all got
No, get into it. No, get into that shit, bro.
I watch niggas have grace for a nigga for a whole day.
Super chats. These long with the niggas ain't saying nothing.
Hey, that's crazy, Aaron. We ain't saying that. That's crazy.
No. Forthcoming. Saying something's forthcoming. Super chats.
Sean Brewer with a $5 says, Shad, the organization is doing the same thing you saying Fantastic and them doing. They getting paid to act like they working and changing the community. Sean with the $5 says, Hamp, do a show on a documentary from 20 years ago named Hood to Hood. That's 20 years ago. Across the country. Maybe Shad never seen it.
I seen it.
Black Dawn with the $5 says, Shad, Mr. Fantastic, you can only read stats at a middle school level. Oh, brother, you not gonna take that subtle shot. I think he said that. Matreon with a $10 says, Mr. Black Dawn always doing that. Matreon with a $10 says, just because the negative is highlighted doesn't mean it's the norm. Black Dawn with a $5 says, Hamp, what is the demographic called when you see something positive but can't acknowledge it? It's called being a hater. Black Dawn with a $5 says, Aaliyah said, Aaliyah, I see all the smoke in the chat. In my opinion, I think you should hit the link so we can have a productive and fruitful conversation. Black Dawn with the $5 says, Mr. Fantastic is wrong. There was one black man in Alaska, and that's EBD. Sean Brewer with the $5 says, when she said, what is your concern? Tell you everything you need to know. She don't. Oh, I read this one. I read this one. Yep. Aaron, what you think, man?
I think these people just like to fight each other and hear themselves talk. I don't really hear anything that's going in any real direction. I mean, I can pretty much give you the script of Fantastic's narrative, right? But I would like to ask Shad, firstly, do you remember the conversation that we had when I had suggested that people that do the right thing aren't, celebrating the black community, that squares are all but looked down upon, or at least dismissed as a negligible outlier that's not worth aspiring to at best?
Yeah,
I remember.
And yet you're complaining that people only bring up the negative things. So by complaining about that, you're acknowledging what I'm saying is correct. And then this 10-year-old boxer that Hamp just outlined is a perfect example of what I was saying. But you kind of disagreed with my initial, when I presented that. All of this is proof that what I said was true, and that the direction of the conversation has to change. So with that, I ask you, no matter what's said and who it's said in front of, is this an issue in the black community? Does the black community have issues? That's a simple yes or no.
Is your expectation that I have something to say now, or
no? I told you how to answer the question, yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, so now my question would be, how exactly do you suppose we talk about it in a way that's conducive to the success of the black community? Because I haven't heard that come up from anybody yet.
Have you been listening to the conversation?
Unfortunately, I have.
Okay.
How do we have the conversation? Because the only thing I've heard from you is, well, we shouldn't have the conversation because it's simply hyperbolic, not true, or not representative of the reality of the black community.
Before I answer this question, Hemp, is your interpretation that I said don't have the conversation? I just want to make that's Aaron's perception. I just want to see.
No. Don't highlight the negative things about the community.
No, I'm highlighting what you said. I just want to see from the other people
I'm clarifying
listening.
What I said. I'm clarifying what I said.
Okay,
Come on, let's have a conversation. Let's not get into the meta conversation. Let's have the conversation.
Okay, so ask me the question again with the
How do
clarification.
you suppose we talk about the negative things that you just said that actually do exist in the black community if we can't address these things or at least identify them, that they exist?
With accuracy.
Okay, and how do you have the conversation with accuracy?
So if you want to use information, you want to use data, let's stay there. Let's talk about the data. Let's mine through the data. Let's also talk about what creates the data. So let's talk about all the different elements that create crime in a community.
Okay, so we've arrived at the fact that it exists, and there's data that suggests it exists, and we know exactly how much and to what degree it exists. Then what?
Then we start to further examine those elements. That's kind of what statistics are used.
Examine. You see what I'm saying? I don't hear anything about.
Well, hold on, Aaron. But Aaron, hold on. Like, I got you. We're not having a conversation about prevention, so this won't be the place for it. So what you're doing right now is disingenuous. We're not coming here to talk about the solutions, and you know that.
Well, but isn't that an issue?
You've been on the platform just like everybody else. I haven't seen you try to stop it to say let's talk about only solutions. So why are you doing it now?
You have an issue with yes or no questions, don't you?
Why are you doing it now? Now I have an issue with people being disingenuous and trying to grandstand like you're doing right now. Yeah, what you're doing right now.
I entertain the idea that I'm being disingenuous. Can you answer the question anyway?
Yeah, I just said this isn't the place for solutions.
Why not? Isn't that an issue?
No, because I understand the platform and we can talk about these things further in different forms. But this particular show isn't about solving the problem.
Okay, so here's where I disagree, and here's where you're going to find out that I'm not disingenuous. Yes, we need to have people that are out there, boots on the ground, doing the work. But there's also space and a place and a benefit for the quote-unquote philosophers of the group, right? People that don't necessarily go out there and do boots on the ground, but do exactly what you said, analyze the data and situation and have a conversation about what can be and can't be done. That way, the people with boots on the ground that are listening, see, here's the thing, you said platform, which means we have an audience, which means there are people that are listening, which means there's a probability that the boots on the ground are listening. And they have to occupy their time, resources, and mental bandwidth with boots on the ground actions, right? They don't really necessarily have the time to analyze information and take a look at the things and apply philosophical modus operandi to the situation like we do. Right. So we do that for them. And as they listen, they can go back to the community with a better grasp on the situation, or at least a philosophy behind the situation. I have different things that they can experiment with, or things that they didn't necessarily see or aren't aware of in other cities that may look like theirs. Just like when Hamp got on the phone and asked her, well, look, what I'm doing over here is different from what you're doing over there. And I'm trying to find out what you're doing over there to better augment what I'm doing over here. Right. So it's platforms like this and things like what Hamp just did, conversations like this that stimulate that exact kind of action. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. How many times? Because I know you're speculating right now. So outside of
it just happened. I'm not speculating. I outlined historically how it just happened within the last 2 hours.
Yeah, I got you. I'm saying outside of him, because you mentioned about the boots on the ground within the group. How many have you been able to identify?
What's that?
How many people who are boots on the ground that are doing the work in the community have you been able to identify? Because since you've had a show for about a year now.
Yes, but I'm talking about within the context of this conversation and on this platform, what we can prove right now in the here and now. And the fact that there are several hundred people listening right now and several thousand more that will listen in the replay gang, and the probability, like I said before, that someone that has boots on the ground, whether I know them or not, is listening, can benefit from this conversation.
Okay, I got you. That's speculation. I guess I'm trying to understand your original point about me saying we shouldn't have the conversation. So are you taking it? Are you retracting that from the record?
Yes, I am. I already clarified that, Shad. I said that we shouldn't. The way you speak is like we shouldn't identify and highlight the negative portion of the conversation because of it being an accurate representation of what's going on. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying that never mind how accurate it is, does it exist, and how exactly are we supposed to address? How would you accurately address the situation, right, so that it matches what's actually happening?
Right.
I guess
never mind.
Better question.
Wait, never mind the accuracy. You put a period.
No. Shad, keep up. I'm asking you, How would you suggest we have the conversation that better matches, or more accurately matches what you believe is really going on? How do we have a conversation where the rate at which we identify the negatives in the black community matches the accuracy of it actually happening is what I'm asking you.
No, I understand the first time you had, you've asked me a few questions, so now I'm asking you one before I answer your question. So never mind the accuracy when we're having conversations about black people? That's your final thought?
No.
Okay, so you said it, Aaron. That's what I'm asking. You said that before you went in your soliloquy about what I'm doing wrong. You said never mind the accuracy.
All right, I answered your question. Can you answer mine?
Yeah, so I think it's important to be accurate again because we already have a burden as black people of having inaccurate information paint out the picture of the caricature of who black people are. So as a person who's aware of that, I would expect black people to, when you're talking about anything, health, when you're talking about crime, we have accurate conversations. So we all know there's an element of criminality within black people, but it's not the majority of black people. So when we having that conversation, we can make sure that's the sentiment when we leave. We can address how do we deal with the minority of black people. We can
answer the question. I understand that you think it's important, you feel it's important, and I would agree that it's important. But the question I was asking is, how do we have the conversation in a way where addressing and identifying the actual problem is congruent accurately with the problem as it exists?
Yeah, I've already answered it. So just to give you an example, my introduction to This Might Be Risky was Miss Fantastic saying 50% of black women got herpes. That's inaccurate. So I came up and said, well, but yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, we can roll the tape. Then I came up and said, no, Miss Fantastic, what you're actually saying is the women that were in that study, which is roughly about 1,000, had it, and it would be dangerous to extrapolate that to black women in totality. So we can talk about that study, but we can also talk about the behaviors in which black people engage in. But when you use that study, accurately discuss the study. And I would apply that same sentiment to all of our discussions, particularly when we use statistics.
Does the study offer a solution?
There is information about things that are being done to lessen the burden. So I would say yes. Aaron, I'm gonna answer the question the way I want to, bro. That's just what it is.
Understood. But you want to talk about when you say disingenuous, you use that word when someone answers a question. You kind of take the winds out of your sails when you can't answer questions directly, right? You can say yes or no and then provide context. But here we are having a meta conversation. That's exactly what I didn't want to do. So you're telling me that in the studies there are solutions available.
There often are recommendations based on the numbers. Yes.
So why not zero in on those? It seems to me as though they would be more important than the accuracy of, how accurate the actual argument that this exists happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather just deal with the solution and then apply it where necessary, rather than saying, well, it's not that many people. If it's people, then there's a solution, then say, well, how can we get the solution to those people?
Yeah, I understand. I'm just a person who's never going to skip past inaccurate information to get to what you're talking about. But I understand your sentiment. We just have different ways of doing it. So I might not agree with your way completely. You don't agree with mine. So we can move forward.
Now watch this. At the end of the day, here we are philosophizing about it. And people have become more edified than they were when they woke up this morning by listening to the back and forth that just happened right now. If not directly by providing them information, at least shifting the way they think or the way they go about, their contribution to the situation. Things that they can consider, you know what? Damn, maybe the solution is more important than the accuracy of the triage. Or maybe triage is what we need to do. But the point of the matter is, this conversation is absolutely useful, and I don't think it's useful when all we're doing is shooting one another's talking point down without actually addressing the solution, where it is, how to find it, and how to implement it. At some point, that has to dominate the conversation, and I haven't heard that dominate the conversation yet. It's still back to, well, that's not accurate information. It doesn't happen that often in these cities, and to say that is to denigrate the black community. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you've had limited. Your listening today has been limited. So I mean, that's a you issue, Aaron. Because the conversation has been more than just fixing what's inaccurate and what's accurate. It's been more than that. The discussion. I'm saying I actually even understand why the discussions are had this way. The double consciousness. I understand why they're had this way. So I'm refuting individuals. I don't know where you stand. I guess right now you're the person who's cleansing everything. I don't know where you actually stand in this conversation.
You would like to know where I stand? I think there's an issue in the black community, and What do you mean you don't understand where you don't know where I stand?
Yeah, right now.
I open.
You've been taking me to task. I don't know what you.
Yeah, no, I opened with we had a back and forth about how squares, quote unquote, or people that do the right thing, aren't heavily applauded in the community, and I think it starts there. I do believe there is a cultural gap or a cultural vacuum that exists in the Black community where we have a low level of aspiration. That's the issue, and so by showing kids things in my day-to-day life, having engaged with people that work in schools, in my kids' schools specifically, getting involved in their STEM programs to show Black kids that STEM's actually pretty effing cool, right? And then going on these panels and edifying people that are our boots on the ground, waking people up to the idea that, you know what, the people that are doing it right are not celebrated as much as they should be, which often gets refuted. Come to find out, no, that's actually woven into the culture, right? That's where I stand on it, and that's what I'm doing about it. Trying to highlight, not only by example, but by boots on the ground in my kids' school, that there are aspirational things that Black people should aspire to and strive to be that we simply don't. At best, we dismiss them as a negligible margin of people that aren't worth, doing things that aren't worth pursuing. We'd rather spend our time and focus on things that ultimately are frivolous. While maybe lucrative, they're frivolous.
Yeah, I think the last part of it is, we talk about whether or not accuracy is important, but I guess the other thing for me is I don't know what to actually be good enough, because we don't actually have a metric, right? I mean, maybe like the marriage stat, we have a metric on that, but you saying like, well, you feel like Black people don't promote STEM enough. How do you assess it based off your anecdotal experience? Because I would say in my small anecdotal experience, I was around people who promoted it. All of my schooling has been through Black institutions. Tougaloo College, or HBCU, Morehouse School of Medicine, a Black HBCU. So I've been around Black people that promoted intellectualism, STEM my entire life. But I've also seen the other things you guys are talking about as well. So that's the other part of it for me, Aaron, because in real time we called an organization, someone who was boots on the ground, and because they had a moment where I guess they didn't behave in a way that we like, we were so ready to demonize them. We saw it in real time. So I don't know what actually good enough.
Don't get locked into STEM. That was just an example. What I'm talking about, the greater picture is the square, the people that aspire to do things the right way and to find lucrative careers and things. You know what I mean? Like, that's not prevalent in the Black community. We just saw it a minute ago with this 10-year-old kid as a boxer, as far as well-spoken, people already dismissed him as a negligible outlier. And to me, that's a problem. And you agree that happens. And if you agree that happens, then you're pretty much proving what I'm saying correct. That's what I'm saying. It's the overall image that the Black people puts on the quote unquote square. It's not aspirational, and it ought to be more so than it is.
That's not. I think you were. My bad. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just listening. Aaron, there was this coach that he was supposed to when I got the Flowers and I moved up to varsity. I was supposed to have a partner in coaching the D line, but I told him in a meeting with the head coach, it got to be one voice, right? Because of how my style was, and so we couldn't get on the same page because you run power, down, kick, right?
Yep.
He wanted the DNs to wrong shoulder, but that means you kind of face the fullback or the guard coming, so you can actually impact him because you got to stop that so the back can that hole doesn't open, right? But I'm like, no, I'm getting my hands on the tackle when he goes down, and I'm shuffling down, and I'm bringing my elbow up so that if it bounces, I can get out there.
Right.
So he thought the wrong shoulder because he didn't think the guys could do it because the guard is so big, whatever the case. I said they don't got no choice but to do it if they're gonna play for me. We couldn't move forward because we disagreed at the baseline. So when I'm hearing them have this conversation, the ground floor is not settled, right?
Right.
And so when I hear them going back and forth, because he said, no, that's not, I'm just saying this. That's not true. That's not the floor. That's not the baseline. We don't agree here. We don't agree there, and so it's like, we can't get to solution until our baseline is solid. And so what happened was that guy didn't coach anymore. Right. And then I could start building upon the baseline that, he didn't agree. So he just left. Right. So how do we get to the solutions if our ground floor, You know, Mr. Fantastic saying use concrete. Shaw saying no, we need to use tar or whatever that shit is called.
Yeah.
You know?
You see, that's why you're DJ Hamp, because you took my entire sentiment, wrapped it up in a nice, you know what I mean? Like, you expressed it way better than I could. I guess that's the direction I should have went. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got what you were saying, you know? And you like, hey, what's in front of us? But I just know that's the arduous part of the process, you know?
Yeah, sure. No, I appreciate you cleaning that up for me, and I agree. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying though. So in Hamp, the bigger question now, or I guess like the easier question that we've established, that how are we so juxtaposed? And in my thing, what I'm saying is right, and this is why I say I know it's like problematic when I say I don't have feelings, but I think Aaron will understand this better. And I'm not saying a lack of comprehension or a lack of intelligence to Shad or Cheeky. I'm not saying this from an engineering standpoint, right? They're just baseline things to where you have power, you have ground, you have neutral, and so on and so forth, right? You have physics, you have science, you have math. Some of those things are just that, right? So my problem is, hey, we have a problem. Me saying that there is a problem shouldn't cause a reaction at all. The Chicago thing that Shard brought up is a great point. Well, why do you mention Chicago? Well, I told you why I mentioned Chicago, because the media picked Chicago to promote anytime there's a fucking 4th of July, a Labor Day, a summertime, you know, mass shooting, right? Are there mass shootings going on somewhere else? Clearly, case in point, right here. We just had 7 people shot, 5 people killed, right? But this isn't national news. Hamp, this is local, right? So when we're inundated with this, and the media chooses, and this is why I say we're so lopsided, for lack of better terms, as to where we're only promoted the white versus black. When there's a major issue within the black community going, we don't care because we're not made aware. Had I not just came across this shit, I'm just happy because, you know, you asked me during the thing and I'm fucking around on YouTube and the shit comes up for the local news, right? This wasn't a national story. But what I'm saying is we're purposely stuck in this thing as to where you can only care if the white people are involved because that's what media tells us we're supposed to do. And then in at the same time, the black community within ourselves, we're saying, well, if you want to point out what the black folks got going on, well, what about the white folks? And what about this? And what about that? Well, it shouldn't be a what about none of that shit. What are we doing to fix it?
Let me ask this question. Cheeky, right? When something is presented similar to what Mr. Fantastic presented about the cases and talking about Chicago and all that, right? Does that same energy happen when we see the Nolan Wells thing, right? Is it prevalent enough for us to focus on? You see? So we're saying, hey, we discussing black on black crime disingenuously because this is an American thing, etc. Should it be the same? Nolan Wells, a black boy amongst white friends, based on the anecdotal examples we have, is nominal. So does that same logic work in reverse to say, why are we putting so much emphasis on this if this is not usually what happens and how we lose in our lives for black boys specifically? Like, should we put so much focus on it if this is really not how we are losing our lives? Should it be the other way around? Why focus on Nolan Wells at all?
Is that a question towards me?
Yeah.
Because you said okay. Yeah, I think that we should. I think the reason being is because there is no real addressing of things like that. And again, it's not that, it's just a black guy with white guys. In this point, I think the things that we do is we'll say we need more kids like Nolan Wells, right? We will say he is the example. So if we have an example and we already know our image isn't clean, thanks to the reporting or whatever the case on the news, when we lose someone like Nolan Wells, that should be, hey, no, right? Because the expectation and the thing that I don't know why we keep ignoring this, we expect criminals or those who are in criminal involved activity to get criminal outcomes. I don't expect Nolan Wells to be dead. That's not my expectation. I don't expect Cyrus to be dead. That's not my expectation. You want to know why? Because I do have a care for black people and those who don't deserve to die. That matters to me. So if we always sit here and talk about people that because if you asked anybody that covers these black kids that die by gun violence, generally speaking, what they're gonna say is, well, why was they there? Why are they around them? They're gonna find a way to implicate them in some criminal aspect or personality or perspective to where they can justify their death, and it don't matter. Do it with Nolan Wells. You can't. And then when you start seeing the involvement with these people in that person's death, and them trying to and them twisting the story to where you can't even get any real clarity on what happened. The police isn't reporting on it. So now we've went from just a civilian to civilian issue to a local authority power issue. Like, it's exposing something bigger than just the nigga right next to you. If cops are not investigating things well and aren't doing the due diligence to handle a murder case where the suspects aren't being jailed or even
boy shot in
questioned.
Queens, New York at basketball court.
You're not on mute, bro.
Go ahead. He's not talking to you.
Oh, my bad. I was searching something.
Oh, no, you're good. That's the problem. Like, I think the Nolan Wells situation, in the way that was handled, I think that the situation with the black woman that was with the white friends and the way that was handled is a problem. I think that the whole Ahmaud Arbery, these are pointing to something bigger, to like a system, and that's an issue, right? Because you can then also tie back in some of the issues that we have on a local level or an impoverished area level back to politics or government as well. Some of these things I think need to be addressed, especially when we already admit nobody give a damn about criminals. And that's the reason why we got upset about what's the kid's name? That stabbed Austin Metcalf. You want to know why so many black people wanted him to get either a lesser sentence or something? It's because they didn't see him as a criminal. But the character didn't show. He had all A's. He was this, that, and the third. So nobody wanted to see that happen to him, although he made a poor mistake or a poor choice.
But Cheeky, that in itself that's a major issue. Cheeky, I don't give a fuck how good you're doing if you do the ultimate mistake, Cheeky. Cheeky, you don't get to have hold on.
It didn't take long for you to put him right. Yeah, I get it.
Cheeky, you don't get to have a perfect driving record and then you drunk drive and kill somebody one night and he had a perfect driving record up until now.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying? But we wouldn't even make that argument in any other case.
Yeah, you do.
We wouldn't make I've never seen a black person get killed, stabbed, or whatever in this manner. We know it happens all the time, and black people even defend it at this level, Cheeky. That's what I'm saying. And the fact of the matter that y'all just at this point purposely refuse to acknowledge we change the rules when white people are involved, and it's just horrible. Morals change, values change. With the benefit of the doubt, all these different things. Look, bro.
Oh yeah, I acknowledge that. I acknowledge that's a human thing.
Wait.
I acknowledge that.
Before we start, but we're moving past. Ham, is it not true that there's such things as first-time offenders and stuff like that?
Yes.
Mrs. Vontae donated $20 through Super Chat. You have to trend the hate crimes. They are increasing. You get ahead of it. You educate our youth about dangerous situations. You do the same with mass shootings. We can do both simultaneously.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my point is this. We know that there is first-time offenses, stuff like that. The charges can be lesser to whatever the case may be. Don't have to be first-degree murder or whatever. We've seen it. We've seen it before. We've seen it happen with plenty of people that look like us, people that don't look like us. And the takeaway was the man didn't start anything. And that's the biggest part. That's the biggest part that most black people keep saying is he didn't start it. Do I think he went past it? Absolutely. But the point is, most people didn't see that. Most black people didn't see that kid as a criminal or as some malicious member of whatever the case. It just happened that he made a decision that cost somebody else their life, and they was hoping for a better outcome, and that just wasn't the case. But to make it seem as if dealing with any cases that involve white people, especially the ones that are like Nolan Wells, doesn't matter, doesn't make any sense, especially when we got all these other hotlines to deal with the situations that Fantastic brought up. What's the situation to deal with white people and the shit that they do?
So
you tell me, can you tell me not the 100 black man, but what's the organization meant specifically for that, for those kind of situations that we can handle on the local level?
Which ones? The murder?
For Nolan Wells, like we have something for the shooting that happened.
I think you assume it would be like NAACP, right?
That's local?
What's the question?
They have local like branches.
Yeah, chapters. It's local chapters of NAACP for sure.
Then I think that that's why people like Ben Crumb matter. I think that justifies his reason for existing for those situations, and then we have other things for those situations. We don't have to keep making this thing where you can't have both at the same time.
Let me read these, and I want to hear what Aaron was trying to get in. I think Shaw was trying to get in too. Black America with the $5 says, Shaw, you are not affiliated with anything that is street, so you don't see things that happens. What do you mean? Stack the star with the $5 says, Shaw is basically calling Fantastic a liar. No. Black Dawn with the $5 says, Aaron sounds just like Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Callie Bev with the $5 says, how the convo is had can be propagandized, so it's important to be accurate while having it. The second with the $5 salute my G. Black Dawn with the $5 says, hey chat, how many pauses did you count in Hamp's football analogy? Jay Miller with the $5 says, Hamp, I actually eliminated some football words too. Jay Miller with the $5 says, Hemp, didn't we establish most black women like men who are thug adjacent? Don't women choose who can reproduce? What motivates most men? Aaron has a point. So to the TS read Mrs. Vontae's chat. Matreon with the $10 says, Carmelo saved a life, never did a crime. Is that the reason for minimum sentencing? I don't know, man. They
what read?
Go ahead.
No, okay, no, it still came up on your side. You're good, my bad. It got deleted by mistake, so I was trying to make sure it got seen.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It say this though, like Henry Ruggs, was just up for parole. They didn't let him out. Henry Ruggs had no criminal record, but he killed that girl driving I think he was driving like 120 miles an hour. He killed this girl. He got drafted by the Raiders in like 5th or 6th pick. But he's been in jail for the past 7 years, I believe. And they did not grant him parole this time. And he was a first-time offender. I think the egregious, which is real quick.
Isn't that the standard, though, Camp? I think you were saying that, though.
What you mean?
More often than not?
Yeah, they deny, and it depends on, usually what you would assume is the person's previous circumstances. The thing that happens, though, most of the time is the egregious nature will eliminate cheeky, that grace you get as a first-time defender. So in Connecticut, we have this thing called accelerated rehabilitation, but they can deny you though, and you also can't get A&R depending on the egregious nature of the crime. So if you have like a felony 2 or above, they won't even allow you to even consider accelerated rehabilitation. Other states have it. They call like prayer for judgment in North Carolina. It just depends.
Yeah.
So,
but it depends on how the outlook of the situation and the egregiousness of it, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can definitely find cases where a judge may look favorably upon that individual person and their sentence may be lessened, right? We talk about all the time with women, right? They get away with it because they looked and viewed as women. And because of that circumstance of who they are as people, it reduces their sentence. Correct.
Yeah, but Cheeky, I can literally name a case that nobody talked about, and it happened in Tampa, Florida. A boy literally beat a fucking old white man to death. Cheeky, he didn't even all he got was probation. The white man came in the store, didn't even touch him, called him the hard N-word. He punched the motherfucking white man. He died. So this is why I'm saying when y'all try to make these.
Wait, he got what now? He got what?
He got probation.
No, but what happened? The white man said what to him?
Call him the hard R N-word in a Dunkin' Donuts. The boy punched him. The nigga died from the punch.
Yeah, okay. What's the problem?
They gave him Jiggy, this is wild. This is wild, Jiggy. But listen what I'm saying.
No, wait, no. Why do you think it's wild? Why do you think
you're proving
it's
my
wild?
point? But Jiggy, listen what I'm saying. You're proving my point. You was like, and listen what I'm saying though, and unintentionally. And this is why I say this is the wonderful thing about conversation.
Okay, a white man. Wait, let me make sure I got this right. A man came up to another man. He knows his status. He's weak. He's feeble. He's old. Disrespects him, and in the process of being checked for his disrespect, dies.
Yes.
And I'm supposed to, what is that?
It's not supposed to say anything.
Hold on. So let me. Would he be?
I'm talking about the outcome. I'm talking about the outcome to kill the narrative.
Wait. No. You're talking about the consequences of his behavior.
To kill the narrative that black people are just so unjust and it never happens the other way around. The thing is, that's another thing too.
Wait, hold on. Wait. So did he or did he not have to open his mouth and say the N-word? Yes or no?
Yes, he did.
So he made a choice.
Yes, he did.
And he died from a choice he made.
Yes, he did.
And they found him, and they found the person that helped him to the Lord Jesus Christ to be on probation.
Yes, they did.
What's the problem?
Which would normally, right? And if we did it in the inverse, to where a young white man did that to her, and that actually happened.
Wait, what would a black man say to a white man to get him to do that?
I have no idea. It could be
what level of disrespect can a black
person? You call him a bitch ass nigga. You call him whatever. Cheeky. This is
wait, hold on. Now, see, this is why I gotta ask. This is why this matters. What can a black man or black boy, better yet, because he's not even a man. He was under 18, right? Because it was kids.
No. This was grown man. These were two grown men. These were two grown men.
Oh, so he don't understand grown man shit. That's not his fault. That's not the black dude's fault for punching him.
But Cheeky, and it's like you're further helping my point than helping yours, even though this is one of your few times of being comedic and you're doing a good job at it. Listen, what I'm saying, you're ruining your point, right? You're ruining your side, right? But you are. It is comical at the point. So what I'm saying is this, Cheeky: a black man killed a white man, not even over being touched, and you're justifying it and saying, and I'll agree with you to a point. Your fucking, your actions have consequences. This was non-contact, right? White man got in his face, called him the hard R N-word, never made physical contact. All this is caught on video. Hit that man, this nigga, real life one punch man. Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Sent that motherfucking white man right under Uncle Charles, and they gave him probation, Cheeky. The same system y'all saying that niggas can never ever catch a break in. This right here is motherfucking the most egregious. Like you said, old feeble white man using words that's killed by a black man, and somehow the fucking system understood the heatedness of this fucking situation. It was unintentional, and the black boy got what y'all feel like he should have deserved in the fucking situation where it was reversed.
What state is this in?
Florida. I told you it happened in Tampa. This happened like 2 years ago in Tampa, Florida.
No. Now we got to do exactly what y'all be doing. We got to look at the laws. We got to figure out the nuance of it. It's a stand your ground state, ain't it?
That's not a stand your ground, brother.
How you
that was
know
not
that?
A stand your ground case.
How you know?
I know for a fact.
He wasn't in fear for his life? How you know?
It was not a stand your ground case because he didn't use that as a defense.
How you know he didn't see a gun?
He didn't see a gun because everything's on camera.
You see a knife? You know he
didn't see a knife.
How you know the white man ain't no kung fu and he could have punched him in his
none
throat?
None of that neither. Like I said, old feeble white man.
How do we know?
That boy punched his ass to death.
Hey, look, I'm gonna just be Mr. Nuance. How do we know? I gotta know. I gotta read the case for myself. I gotta see more about it.
Well, I mean, here's an interesting point, Mr. Fantastic. Is I would think you could almost, to make your point or to further your point, use the exoneration percentages. He Googling something. Hold
on. No. Yeah, I'm listening.
No, I would think that maybe you could leverage the amount of exonerations that black people have.
And I misspoke. It was 2 years of house arrest. I'm sorry. He had 2 years of house arrest, not 2 years of probation. 2 years of house arrest.
Yeah, that shit is the same. Damn near.
No, it's not. That's worse. He got even a harsher sentence than Mr. Fantastic said. Okay.
Catch a body. That's that.
Nah, he didn't catch a body.
and toilet wine in the house.
That nigga was on the way out before he hit the ground.
Let me read this real quick. Matron with the 10 ounces. Carmelo saved a life, never did a crime. Is that a reason for... Oh, I read this one, didn't I?
Yeah, you read that one. That was the one that got deleted by mistake.
So here's what I'm going to do. We are at the 3-hour mark. It's been a hell of a show. We got 540 people in the chat. We're going to crowdfund the extension, $100 to the Cash App. It could be crowdfunded, or not the Cash App, the Super Chats, or either or. You know, or we'll see y'all tomorrow. We'll give you about 10 minutes because the brother's been cranking this shit out. That's for sure. I want to play Shad's video that he sent because Shad, this is contextual for Nolan Wells, but also how to properly assess the information and how it's like delivered and such. You know, because I like digging into the stuff, right? And I also heard a part of this in Big Aaron, what Big Aaron's saying. He can correct me if I'm wrong. At what point does it say, hey, let's properly assess the baseline? Or is it at a point we dick measuring? Because the dick measuring is the thing that would devolve the convo. Right? Is it being done justly to make sure? Or are we just doing it because we tired of hearing whatever's been said for how long? Let me read this real quick. So Shad,
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
So here's a case. I'm reading it right here. First thing, CBS News. So the guy, Vontel Cook was irate when Duncan Man entered story, punched him. Right. Then it says in agreement, he was charged with manslaughter. In agreement to a plea deal, prosecutors consider the totality of the circumstances, including Puyo's youth.
Go ahead.
His youth, lack of criminal history, and the fact that he did not intend to cause Cook's death. All the things that I said would matter. They all brought that. So again, it goes to the point that furthers my point, which is all of these things considered, you would think would get a lesser sentence in this case, like it did with this guy who got called an N-word repeatedly. It's only proving the point that I was making earlier. He had no history of violence, no history of nothing, and they all considered that, and that's why he got 2 years.
So this time,
Cheeky, he used his hands, not a weapon. Cheeky, again, and that's why I say y'all try to make everything the same. That's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying.
You just did that. Why'd you bring him up?
What do you mean?
You just did that. You're
tried to make opposing it to the Austin Metcalf situation, though.
I was not just opposing it to the Austin Metcalf situation.
Well, you have to. Otherwise, what would be the point of bringing up the points?
My entire point was black people did not see Carmelo Anthony as a criminal, and they were hoping that all of the things, including his character and the character witness, would lessen it. That doesn't mean that they were right or correct, and it's not far-fetched for people to think that, hey, maybe he's got a shot, and it didn't happen out that way. And then you brought up this case, only proving that your history, your character, or whatever the case, if that's not who you are and that was not the intent, they will lessen the charge. You're only proving the point that I was proving, which is they were hoping for something that didn't happen. That's it.
Yeah, and most people get punched and don't die, versus people getting stabbed, right? And I know most people.
We already looked it up. Most people that get stabbed don't die.
I know, but clearly there's a higher rate of people getting stabbed and dying than fucking punched, Cheeky.
Did you look that up to know that?
And we looked it up the other day. It's 8 to 10% of people that get stabbed die.
Yeah,
I'm willing to bet that I'm willing to bet of the fucking if I was a betting man, Cheeky, I know it's less than 2% of niggas getting punched die.
Well, let's look it up. We don't know, dude.
As many motherfucking assault cases that's out here, I don't think we even gonna make it to 5% of niggas getting punched and motherfucking dying. Motherfuckers don't hit that hard, brother.
Is eating me up, and so we're going to look at this from a media literacy standpoint, because I saw some really concerning reporting today where a law enforcement official was essentially blaming Nolan for his own death.
Nolan Wells was on a boat. He left from a private dock area in the Ocean Springs area and proceeded with his friends to Horn Island.
Wells was visiting the barrier island 10 miles from the Gulf Coast, boating with friends, last seen about 3 p.m. Saturday.
They left and went back without Nolan. From what we understand, he chose to stay there.
And so I know that the word gaslighting is used and not always in the right way, but this is 10 miles off the coast on a barrier island with his friends who came back. He didn't. They had his phone. They're saying that he chose to stay. Was he supposed to swim? He had no way to call him. They left him for dead. But you have a law enforcement official saying, from what they understand, he chose to stay. He's not saying from what we've been able to determine, what we've been able to confirm and verify. He's saying from what we understand. He understands that because that's what they were told. Why is he repeating what they were told from the friends who left this man to die? Why is he repeating that on national television? Then why is a news organization that has multiple layers of producers as well as a legal and standards department allowing this to be broadcast without pushing back? I didn't even hear the word suspicious in the piece. And I am a Black mother who is at my wit's end with how this country continues to gaslight us and then expects us to stay silent. Because this is not normal. The reporter can only push back so much. So this is not about the reporter. It's about the organizations that handpick the Black faces that then go out and report these stories that are gaslighting to the American public. This is problematic. So this is how I can help by speaking up to say, hey, let's look at this critically. Let's look through a media literacy standpoint. Let's look at the information that's being presented. Let's consider why it's being presented this way, who it's coming from, what's being left out, what questions are not being answered, what questions aren't being asked. This is not okay. This is not how this story should be being reported out. This is the impact of seeing Black and brown journalists systemically laid off, fired, not renewed. Please tag some of your favorite independent journalists below, especially independent Black and brown journalists. And share this video. I'm Janae Norman. I used to do the news. Now I just report the facts and uncomfortable truths. Nolan Wells deserves justice and not to be blamed in the mainstream media for his own death. This Nolan Wells story is eating me up, and so we're going to...
But, and again, what's happened is, especially in the previous case, Black journalists have shown themselves to be untruthful and unreliable because they're biased. They can't put their bias aside. What are we talking about? What are we saying?
Why didn't you address
Black journalists, independent Black journalists lied and said that they had some secret fucking video that everybody's seen that showed him getting jumped. Videos never produced. The independent Black journalists claimed that there was a cleat sharpener used when we know it was a fucking knife. Independent Black journalists said a whole bunch of fucking lies. So that's the problem. It's called journalistic integrity. So you can't promote something as to where whenever there's a racial issue involved, there's going to be fucking bias, blatant bias.
Why didn't you?
And furthermore, niggas not having a foundational understanding of the law versus their feelings. Again, just to go back to this, and in this Nolan Wells situation, again, RIP to a young man. But until they do anything and they have a way to prosecute or charge or whatever, now it's this whole thing, right? My understanding was there's video being produced now. He was left there, but it wasn't just them. It was a whole bunch of people. And nobody, why is that context not being given? He decided to stay, not by himself. He wasn't a fucking literal man on an island. He just said he wasn't going back with them. It was a whole thing that happens all the time during the year for that location that everyone goes there and parties and with boats and shit. He decided not to come back with them.
Okay,
now the
so
details. They've literally produced Cheeky. They produced motherfucking. They produced. Well, so you know. So what? So what's wrong with me saying that?
No, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Did you know about the fact that he went to a party later that night and had video evidence or footage of him being with them past the point that they said they dropped?
Cheeky. I have not seen that. So now I'm confused. So now you're saying he did go back with them?
Yeah, that's what's causing an issue. Is because they're saying that he actually did go back with them. And the reason why they couldn't find his body on the 4th is because it wasn't there, but it showed up on the 5th, the day after the fact, and the body was there. The other part of it too was there's an Instagram post, right? This is all, look into it. There's an Instagram post that shows him at a party with his friends and a group of friends at a house party and he was there, and that's after the 3 p.m. that they said. So you should take a look. There's more information coming out, right? Which is why I refuse it. Which is why I'm not going to give my entire take on it. I just think it's suspicious, and I think she's pointing out something that you hadn't addressed yet.
Yeah, and Cheeky, that's what I'm saying. I'm getting too many different things from too many different people, and it hasn't been proven that that's the timeline is what the timeline says. Cheeky, I saw motherfuckers produce some shit claiming that some other shit that hadn't happened yet. So I don't even know who to believe or what to believe. And this is the problem with independent journalism. This ain't being reported by the news. This is people that are collecting data and putting it on the motherfucking internet.
Right, but who's saying that they're journalists?
Well, that's who the new journalist is, Cheeky.
Well, no, I don't think she means just a person posting something online. I think she means people that's actually doing journalistic work. Like, for example, you think Nick Shirley is a journalist?
Yeah, Nick Shirley would be considered a journalist. He actually fucking
goes
out.
No.
How not?
You think Nick? Why is Nick Shirley not a journalist?
Well, he's not. Well, Cheeky, this is the thing, right? So a journalist usually does what? A journalist usually goes on scene for sure, on scene to whatever topic, say it's an accident.
And has verifiable sources and
and talks to people and interviews people and is on the ground and talking to people and it has some type of thing if they're accusing of what's the name of something, right? And so on and so forth, correct? So what would eliminate Nick Shirley from being a journalist?
He has no actual credentials. He has absolutely nothing. I would say Don Lemon is is a journalist. Like somebody
but that's the majority. The new media, most people that are of the new media don't have credentials. Cheeky,
right? And I wouldn't consider, right. That's the point. I wouldn't consider them journalists. That lady gave an explanation, and she gave her reasoning, and she gave her background. She's verified. She has some level of verifiable but a verifiable background work in it. I'm more inclined to lean towards her and her reporting because she has some type of professionalism in it.
Yeah, professional experience and qualifications.
Yeah, so anybody, go ahead.
One of the main people that was covering one of the biggest trials, that they don't have any credentials. It was just a person that showed up to the trial. I don't even know what the girl's name is. It was some black lady.
Some girl. Okay, I got you.
Some black lady, but she had millions upon millions of people valuing her opinion about the trial and the case and the facts and the things that was going on.
And I don't know if I would consider that a journalist either. I don't know.
But my point is this: you though, you can't put your standards on the rest of people, and we know the bias allows you to gain a following. If you tell black people what they want to hear, we've seen this even in this space, Cheeky. If you sided with Carmelo Anthony, you check the bag. You are a hero. If you said, well, hey man, all this stuff, I'm just saying the police report said this. Oh, the police lying. Police lie all the time. And then when all the motherfucking, all of the evidence comes up to the video evidence finally comes out and matches up with the fucking police report, the vast majority of the testimony of the witnesses, even the defense witnesses, match up with what the police report says. Now what?
Yeah, at that point. So I guess you're just highlighting the dangers of her saying independent journalists because we don't know what that really means.
I'm saying I'm not saying she's wrong. What I'm saying is now anybody can be a journalist. Literally, anybody with a camera and a microphone and an opinion is a journalist on certain topics.
Okay, well, if that's the case, fine, I can accept that. Right? We don't know. I would say verify the source or verify the journalist. But the question is, what about the content she was covering? What do you think about that? The fact that the actual thing she brought up. What do you think about that?
No, again, for her, Cheeky, that's a great example. And her opinion is to be valued and verified and all this different things because she has a background. Still, what I'm saying is this: now she's putting a spin on it because I'm tired of our black boys being this and that and so on and so forth. That's a bias, bro. That's a you can't.
I'm not talking about that part.
Well, hold on. You can't say not that part. You lose journalistic integrity once you put a spin on a purpose, a clearly biased spin on it. You can't have journalistic integrity on that point. Cheeky?
Okay, so what about the judge? How about the former judge coming out and saying that this case is not being handled in a particular way that is pretty typical, or in a way that is, former Mississippi judge.
You talking about the black guy, the black dude, black dude? Yeah, Cheeky. He's not speaking from a racial issue. He's speaking from a legal standpoint.
Okay. Well, my point is
I'm
this,
just giving you basis for why I say his wouldn't be biased. He's giving you
fantastic. We're not disagreeing. We're not disagreeing.
It's not just for me and you, Cheeky. It's for the audience that's listening.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So they know we're on the same page.
Yeah, I got you. We're on the same page. His experience as a former judge coming out and saying that this case is being handled very abnormally. What does that say about the case to you?
It says that I agree with what he's saying as to where there may be something afoot or awry. It may be.
Now, with that being the case, if his expertise in history and professionalism within being a judge himself and a journalism with the same background also saying, hey, the way that these things are being spoken about and the way it's being portrayed by people who have a job to do, this is the reason why Shaw brought up accuracy, right? Because if we do not accurately report or accurately handle things, you can spin this to where those potential suspects or potential murderers will get off scot-free. And that applies to anything that we cover, which is why Shad brought up the accuracy thing. So now that we've gotten some level of concession of, hey, this is being handled odd. We have a judge now reporting that this is being odd. A former news reporter saying, hey, why is he reporting it like this? That's odd. And now you're saying, okay, given the circumstance, there could be something there. That's the reason why Shad said the accuracy in how you depict or even put information out there matters the most. Because we know at the end of the day, a judge and your juries, they can hear facts, but they don't necessarily, they can be skewed on facts if the perception of the person that's on trial is off or skewed. So accuracy is the most important thing.
Yeah, that's the job of the attorneys. You know,
is to do what?
Skew.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And what does that do if the job of the attorney is to skew, and then the people who are reporting on said thing are also skewing, and now you're being used to help skew the entirety of this situation because of what? For what reason? And that's the issue, Hamp. I don't think Fantastic, because I've known Fantastic well enough. I don't think Fantastic is a malicious player, but that doesn't mean that his depiction or his reporting on things or the lack of accuracy on certain things, maybe not coming from him, but from other people, it's going to play a huge part. And the fact that it plays such a big part, it will also skew or offset the probability of correct justice or even innocence. So whenever we start talking about black people killing black people, in my head, I'm already thinking, okay, we're talking about criminal people dealing with criminal things. And to me, there's not much I can do about that. I can't stop a criminal from doing criminal things. But I do care about black people that we say that we care about and we say we should be uplifting and praising. They die. And we should put more impetus on that because based on their belief system and based on what they say, ain't that many young black boys doing the right thing to the point that it's just worth praising. And if it is, they don't care. Nobody cares about them. So why not highlight them?
No, yeah, that was in the midst of answering my initial question. For sure.
And I had to come
Go ahead, man. You already messed up my drop. Go ahead.
I'm just saying it had to come full circle. This is the reason why Shad, and if you listen to the conversation in its entirety, his point matters the most. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about criminals. Y'all keep trying to accept and bring criminality into black culture and saying that's who we are and not separate it. And then at the same time tell us we're the only group of people that accept all our criminals. That's not true. So what? We like hip hop. So what? They talk about degenerate things. I'm sure I can find a rock song or two. Matter of fact, that may be part of my next video too. Finding all the degenerate pop shit that white people talk about and then say they glorify it too. But the second part is we got to stop destroying our own image and helping people that don't need the help to do that. They already don't look at us as good people. They look at us as 1350. Every time something happens, they'll go to usual suspects. Of course, he's black. I know he didn't have a dad. What? Look at the comments. You'll see it. You're gonna see it. You see it in your own comments.
Yeah, and well, I don't really see it on my comments like that. I see more shit that motherfuckers mad at me, cheeky, for saying niggas shouldn't be kicked out of the military for shaving. So again, y'all act like I don't know that it is fucking racist, dumb white people that exist. But you know, again, I'm looking at the thing you were talking about, the photo you're talking about. It was posted on June 27, bro. It was posted on June 27, and now, like you said, Ben Crump is playing the same game as to where he's trying to make it seem like it happened after the fact. So no, that's what I'm saying. Ben Crump is a part of the problem. Now I understand. I guess as a criminal attorney, I can understand spending it and so on, but civil, just so you can get a check, and now you're heightening up black people and pumping up black people with false fucking rhetoric and false fucking shit for the sake of what? And it don't help us, bro. That's what I'm saying. He does way more damage, and the only good he does is for himself and maybe the fucking families that get a payout. Ben Crump is not a fucking man for this town. Ben Crump is not a fucking asset to the black community. I can't believe we even making that argument. I understand that everybody does it, but Gloria Allred is a piece of shit too. Gloria Allred just jumps behind any motherfucking woman that's going to accuse any man of sexual impropriety, and she's there for the fucking check. So I think she's a piece of shit too. Of course, all lawyers have a job to do, but just because you're doing your job don't mean you're doing your job righteously or in good faith. So I understand this. Like, you know, the brother that defended Rick Chow. As much as you may disagree with him, he did a damn good job, and he did his job as a lawyer. People were mad at him for doing his job. He's a criminal attorney, right? Criminal defense attorney. But because he decided to defend, you know what I'm saying? Which we know that's a tactic that's often done. If a man is fucking accused of sexual impropriety, who he gonna hire? He gonna hire a woman lawyer. If it's not his lead, he's definitely gonna have a prominent fucking woman lawyer on his thing. So if you can get somebody the same thing, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's a good tactic. All right, go ahead.
Run! It's a stampede! DJ Ham the Stampede. DJ Ham the Stampede.
Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, man. Hit that like button right now if you can. That helps the channel the most, man. We have 200 likes. We have 530 people in the building. That's egregious. We've been rocking out for 3 hours and 26 minutes. I think the brothers have made some very strong arguments in the discussion. We need to figure out, you know, how we can have these conversations. What's the most? I think the accuracy matters for sure. And we have to agree on. I think there has to be levels of concession and agreement to go further, faster, to get to the solution aspect that Aaron was pointing out. Interesting though, man. What you think, Aaron?
Yeah, so I've identified a problem and I have a solution. Like I always say, I think the main part of this is just how we culturally look at doing the right thing. I don't think we celebrate it enough. So the solution to that would be, when you have members of your family or members in your community that are doing the right thing, celebrate them more and more and more and more and more. Go to college graduations and spend your money on gifts for them, gifts that'll help their future. If they graduated law school, get them a nice set of ink pens, you know, some Cross or Mont Blanc or something. If they graduated engineering, get them a protractor set or whatever the case is. Buy apps for their phones that they can use to learn from. Don't go to get out of jail parties, and don't go to baby showers of single mothers. Go to baby showers of married couples, right? Shout out to my cousin Jack Christmas the 4th 2 weeks ago while Houston was happening. He had a baby shower, him and his wife. He's an attorney. She's got a master's in education. Support these sorts of things. Highlight these sorts of things and forget about the people that aren't doing it the right way. If they're doing it the wrong way, look the other way, leave them alone, or ask them how you can help them do it the right way. But if they're doing it the right way, celebrate them. Make sure you celebrate them as much as you celebrate your favorite rapper or your favorite athlete. There's a solution. It's something anybody and everybody can do because it's something that everybody faces in their community and their family. If we help to bolster the right thing and create an image of aspiration in our community, a lot of this stuff will self-alleviate. Done deal.
Shad, what you think, man?
Great show. Appreciate the invite. Getting a chance to come up and rap with Miss Fantastic and Aaron. Double consciousness. When you get a chance, read some of the excerpts. It'll explain a lot of things you see on YouTube. from a lot of these black, I don't know what they call themselves, advocates, activists, whatever. A lot of interesting things occurred today, and I'm gonna kind of, because I believe in giving grace to my people, so I'm gonna sit back. I was told that this was the place of solutions, but I remember a few times, Hemp, you told me stop trying to get to solutions. So that was an interesting point made today. What else I got? Damn, I forgot the last thing I wanted to say. Accuracy is important when you speaking on black people. I know that we have issues in our community, and I want us to continue to talk to them, but I don't want to add burden on our people because there's already enough burden being black as it is. And all of our achievement is in spite of. I know you asked that question to people about black moms and black dads or whatever. It's, as far as black people, it's in spite of. So that's the lens that I always had these conversations with. I can't neutralize myself to forget history. I look forward. I'm optimistic about the past, but history is what informs me. So that's why I have the lens that I have on certain conversation in regards to our people, because I know the information has always been disseminated with a pinch of bias in it, and incorrect as well. So again, great show, man. Looking forward to the next one.
Indeed. Cheek.
Yeah, I think that black people have the ability to do multiple things. And like Shad is saying, I think that our image is already being attacked. Naturally, I think it's gone beyond just the nation. I think it's going to other nations. I think the way that Africans think about us, Asians think about the way that everybody views black people comes from a American issue or American imagery that they intentionally display. And the fact that we highlight all of these things on a consistent basis, although we know there's much more to bring and much more to offer, is a problem, right? We called the lady. We got somebody dealing with that situation, and then we got somebody in NAACP that's dealing with the racial stuff. Both things can happen at the same time. And just because we don't know doesn't mean we don't care. Because I can find multiple news articles that happen the same day of Chicago that deals only with white people. But if I bring it up, I'm going to be, you just care about white people. It just don't make sense to me.
Indeed. Mr. Fantastic.
Huh? Hey, listen, man. At the end of the day, bro, I think we have a fundamental issue with acknowledging issues and problems within the community, and the conversation I had today, I think, magnifies and just proves that, again, when it's an internal issue, it is. I guess I won't say necessarily there isn't any care, but let's just say there's a far less concern, right? When we see something that's egregious and it's crazy, like literally, I can fucking hear Hamp saying it through the text message. He said, "Holy shit." The way he says it when I sent him this story last night, bro. This is, I haven't heard anything this crazy in quite some time. And the fact of the matter that we're saying, juxtaposing the seriousness of it and the concern with it compared to, again, and not to belittle or take away from the young man losing his life. Shout out to RIP to Nolan Wells and his family, of course, right? But furthermore, like I said, if there is not a white element, we just don't care, man. I'm gonna leave it at this. The same thing happened when the boy got we seen these things, even when we see them, right? Everybody talks about the George Floyd situation and things like that, but we also just saw a boy get shot in the face at point blank range in New York, like I think April. Okay, again, we cared for a few days and then we go on about our life like it's nothing. But now, again, everybody's motherfucking Perry Mason, Matlock, and CSI whenever there's a white person involved. So that's my take on it, man. We definitely need to care more about each other, and from that point, things will start to improve overall.
Yeah, man. Just one point of clarification. When I was telling Shad about the solution aspect, we don't agree on the issues, right? So when we were having that conversation in context, we trying to still mine through the potential issues that are being had. And there's times where we could jump the gun to the solution aspect. So like with this particular conversation as an example is the clarification on this is an American thing, not a black thing, has just kind of come more to the forefront. So now we have to have the conversation about what is actual, what's true, what's the baseline. And then once people agree on the truth, the proper context, the accuracy, then I think that the solutions presented at that juncture will be more steadfast. You know,
I can concede to that.
Yeah. So that's the one thing, you know, because I like when Aaron presents what he presents, I hear it, you know, about the people, the boys who are nerdy or whatever the case is. And it makes sense pushing them to things that also have a high yield in terms of like value in society monetarily as well. And then my next thought is those ain't the boys that's being characterized as YNs. So now it's a separate group that probably needs guidance, but in a much different way. And they're not the ones that are being propagandized negatively, you know? So it's tough, man. It's tough. You know? Nolan Wells, man, that's a damn shame. 7 people shot, 5 dead in 3 locations by a 15 and 60-year-old is a goddamn shame. That don't leave you slightly disheartened, and we do this, you know. Then you gotta have an intrinsic conversation.
I just wanted to augment my final thought with God bless the dead.
Yeah,
to all those in the conversation in the past year.
God bless the dead for sure, man. Anybody else?
This is what I forgot. The thing that I think bothers me often about these conversations is the othering. Again, if I would have knew all the greatest blacks that are currently existed showed up at YouTube at the same time, I would have been here. That's the interesting thing about these conversations. We're talking about help, but interestingly enough, we're not the people that need it. We're not the whores. We're not the whoremongers. We're not the thugs. We're not the people with the unbecome behavior. It's everybody outside of this might be risky. That's the part that's so interesting to me when we have these conversations. It's always y'all. It's not us. And then when we talk about y'all, we're not gonna help y'all because we're not the ones that need help. It's an interesting dynamic. And I'm not even talking about the men here. I'm talking about even in the chat, even the super chat that get put up. We aren't them people. They clearly not in our families. We never been around, and we the exceptional blacks. It's just interesting to continually hear their sentiment be shared in these conversations.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. I remember on the POV a few times, you know, I had to tell them, stop pointing at Bad Girls Club. The poor behavior is right in front of you. You know? People don't change their mask, in my opinion, Shot. You know? I used to be hot-headed, and make no mistake, I could still go there. You just happen to have better self-control and etc. You know, but people always acting like they ain't who they are, who they used to be. Nah, you just got better self-control.
You old and rich and shit now.
Yeah. Right? You're like, well, damn, if I pop it off, nigga, I only got 27 seconds in me.
Word.
So, yeah, but nah, this shit is really real, man. But I think that's actually a good convo. It ain't them, it's us, right? So, yeah, man, for sure. For sure. Damn. Let me see. Oh, we got one more. As Ava the $10 says, this is America and Americans care about black and white. From women's basketball to regular society. Nobody cared about women's basketball until Angel Reese beat Caitlin Clark. I still don't give a goddamn about the WNBA. Let's just be clear. Now, Shad, I am not in that group. I don't give a fuck about the WNBA.
I watch it, man. I watch it.
Well, you know who care though?
I don't care who can. Let me say this.
The Department of Justice.
Let me tell you this. If I don't ever see another bounce pass in my life, I'll be better for it, nigga.
They miss a lot of layups. I will say that to be professional, they miss a lot of layups. I be like, you can't miss a layup, bro. That's crazy.
Motherfucker ain't never made a dime. You right. I don't give a damn. They ain't made a dime since Rebecca Lobo, nigga.
Oh, shout out to Rebecca Lobo, man. That's old school.
But Cheeky was right. But god damn, man, they didn't call me in one of them hearings, bro. You know. But they got some max contracts, right? Didn't that just come out? They had like some.
The money went up a little bit.
Did Aja get $1 million?
A lot of bit. The shit went up a lot of bit. They got
the tickets did too. The ticket show where you could get a ticket for $30. Now it's $150. I'm like,
really?
What?
This shit and this.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to the Dream game. 2 tickets was like $150. I'm like,
and they losing money. That's the dumbest shit they could have ever did. But oh well.
Damn, yo. Yeah, I can't do it, bro. That shit, soccer, cricket, all that shit. The Winter Olympics. I don't give a damn about none of that shit.
Just football.
And boxing.
Okay. Hey, speaking of boxing, help, I was on the phone with my dude this weekend. She was like, why does he share fighting videos? I said, Mom, he believed me. I said, Mama, he believed men should be able to defend themselves, so he giving us an example of the men that can't. She's like, okay, I understand that. That makes sense.
Oof.
yeah, Mama.
I'm glad
she appreciates it.
All right, good. I want to say I gotta find a new shtick, man.
Nah, she get it. She understands.
Yeah, that's why I always explain it after.
yeah.
Conor McGregor, man. I think he tore his ACL, man. Damn. So.
Oh, that's what it was.
No.
Yeah, I think that was pretty uneventful. Yeah.
Y'all got cars, right? You get back and forth to where you got to go with cars?
Yeah, I have a car.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. If you ever had to make a panic stop, especially in the rain, thank you, Motorsports, for anti-lock brakes.
Right.
Best sport in the world. Saves lives.
I also go to speed limit, so that helps. You know?
Anti-lock brakes. Thank you, Motorsports. Saves lives.
Yeah, I guess we had to thank y'all for something. Oh, damn it. Hey, best thing about baseball on TV is that you could turn the fucking channel. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Let us know how you felt about the HQ today, man. I think that did a hell of a job. Leave it in the comments. Hype the video. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Be safe and do the right thing, man. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And we out.